133,843. That's a large number. If you're crazy enough to watch every episode of Minecraft Timelocke, it would take you that many seconds. That's north of 36 hours of content in just the first 100 episodes and some change. Most of us don't have the time for that. Nevertheless, the first few episodes didn't have the best quality. Let me fill you in for the new people. Minecraft Timelocke is a series in the style of old Minecraft Let's Plays, where I'm playing through old Minecraft versions and slowly updating over time. So this is where my fixing comes in. I have actually tweaked the audio from the first 5 episodes because of how quiet they were into one bingeable spot so you can watch all of them. A little note though, I did end up skipping episode 3 entirely because I made a mistake where I accidentally recorded the wrong OBS screen, so I ended up recording random footage and just looping over my talking over top of it, and it was a mess, and when I went to edit through here, I wasn't happy with it, so I figured I would just ignore that one entirely as the next episode addresses what we did in the one before it. But if you're new to the channel, I do recommend you watch this version of the first 5 episodes as it'll have a better experience and it'll be louder and it'll just be better off for your viewing pleasure. With all of that, I hope you enjoy the compilation. Minecraft is a game where the older I've gotten, the more I wish I was more sooner than I was, giving me the chance to do something that I've never done before. This is where my new series takes over. In Minecraft Timelocke, I'm going to experience Minecraft years before I ever got to touch the game, going back to 2010, and making my forever world. The rules for this are really simple. Each real life day is now linked to the day it was 15 years ago, meaning I can't update my game until the next update comes out. For example, Alpha 1.1.2 came out on September 23rd, meaning once that date rolls around, I have to update my world to the next version. I'm not going to promise daily uploads or every other day uploads, but I do want to make a lot of these videos, especially in the older days around alpha and beta, updates came out quickly and I don't want to miss content. So I will be sure to have episodes for every series and every big update as they come out. I also want to have this be authentic. They're going to be more relaxed, more podcasty, let's play, going off of my roots and like creators I was really inspired by. This first episode isn't perfect. I have some audio issues. I stopped talking a few times. There's some silence, and I'm hoping to get better from that. Any feedback would be very greatly appreciated, and I hope you guys do enjoy this series. And now into the first episode. Well, guys, that is the intro out of the way. We are officially. Oh, just put a sapling in my hand for a second. We are spawned in this little beach area. I'm going to do a time check real quick. It is October 21st, 2025. So, turning back the clock, it is 2010. And we have to wait till the Halloween update comes out, which will be adding whole type of new things for us to do in the final Secret Saturday update. So we have 9 days now to play through the game, experience this oldness before we start moving up in versions and we start climbing our way through the years and seeing what happens. Because like my plan for this series isn't to just be like, oh, we're gonna do everything, we're gonna take things super quick. Like, no, I'm gonna enjoy Minecraft. I have not gotten a chance to enjoy Minecraft in a long time, like, because my creativity always kind of plateaued and it struggled over the years. I don't know how loud this is. I don't want it super loud. So I will change that for the next one if it sounds bad, but I'm just going to frantically do that. But yeah, I haven't really gotten a chance to enjoy the game like I did all those years ago when I was a kid. Because when I first played Minecraft, it was on Xbox 360 version and on an iPad or on my Xbox. And it's always those are always forced update editions. I didn't get a chance to experience Java till like maybe five or so years ago, and by then Minecraft was past its beyond modern phase, and I never got myself to go back and like play some over. Like obviously, I went back, play a little bit of beta, play a little bit of 1.0, but I never had a reason to sit there and fully enjoy it for whatever it is. So I'm hoping this is my chance. We've got a whole world upon us to explore. Tons of old can't think of the word of it. Interactions, weird ways the game works, and stuff I gotta see again because I'm gonna have to try to remember. Like I got I got the stuff, the memories. I played some of these things. Like I'm ready for this. Like I'll go get some wool real quick. It's good. We got 2. Like I'm ready for this. I don't exactly have an editing style in mind for this. My big inspiration off of this is going to be who I watched when I was little. And when I was little, my biggest inspiration was Stampy. He was, I think, the first Minecraft YouTuber I watched when I was little. I'm assuming it was around 2014, 2013 is when I started watching his kind of stuff. It was him and Squid were 2 that I watched a lot, and I have a lot of memories in the way that Stampy always did things. Part of where this series comes from is me wishing I could have done stuff he did. He had his lovely world for all of those years, and he got to enjoy it in a way I'd never gotten a chance to. I've had worlds that I played in a lot, and I moved over editions. But when I moved from my Xbox to over to PC on Java, that was something that I ended up losing because obviously I did transfer all my worlds over. They're in a random file on my old computer's desktop, I believe. But it's still something that got lost to me because, different filing, different way Redstone works, a lot of stuff would break from how I had it originally. It like takes out the charm. Oh crap, it's about to be night. I forgot that I was playing. I was just chopping wood and talking. We got a little distracted. It's gonna turn on us really quickly. First thing is, you gotta remember it's I, guys. It is not anything else. Big thing you have to try to remember. Where are we gonna put this? So we spawned there, around here. We'll see when we die. I'll be able to mark it out exactly where our spawn is. Is that not getting night? Oh, it was. It's just over midday, so I guess I don't have to immediately panic for a shelter, but I'm going to go make one real quick. So we're ready. Grab a couple roses too, as I'm going to want a few of them. So I want to go back to my train of thought that I kind of had beforehand and I got distracted on it. Is that, like, I had worlds I played in. Like, I think my oldest world I remember going back was like 2018. I played in it for, what was it, maybe 3 or 4 years. I went back to it, played a bit in it, moved it over to Realm, had it on Windows on my computer, and stuff like that. But I don't know what it was, but like I've had a really strong time just like committing to things. Maybe it's just me, maybe it's just how I play games and stuff, but you make a world, you play it for a little while, you get stale, you move on. Stuff like that happens, and there's like nothing I can really do about it. Like I've tried multiple things. I've tried setting goals, tried making series, I've tried a lot of things. Okay. My train of thought stopping this time, we are actually going to real quickly build the house. We're gonna go very simple. Very simple house. I think this is also something, like I was saying earlier, I watched Squid when I was little. I think when he made his, Sky Island Challenge, this is literally how he built, it's how he built his houses. He had, cobblestone in the middle. cobblestone in the middle to like break it up. I think it was cobblestone on these parts, but he built it in this type of shape. So when I went to start, that's the first thing it reminded me. About 99% sure there is not charcoal in this game. I'm gonna go and mine down to get some cobble real quickly before it turns dark because we're gonna have to sit in the house for a little bit. Wait, no. If there's another sheep around here, isn't. I didn't even think about if I got a bed. Okay, guys. As you hear, it is morning now. That was the boring 10 minutes. You're waiting for this. Oh, they can hit through the wall. Spiders have good hitboxes. Springy. I forgot how springy they were. I do want to take a second to enjoy the old hurts noises. Did they not attack in day? Uh-oh. Oh. Yikes. I saw the thing out of the corner of my eye, and it was too late. Well, I'm gonna break this block right here. Well, yikes. That did not go the way we wanted it to, but it is day again. Feathers right here, zombie died. And we should be right up here. At least we get our stuff back. So, I did a little bit of looking when when it was nighttime, so I got an idea of a little bit more stuff of Alpha. I brushed myself up a tiny bit on it, but I was like, I got this. But then I couldn't remember half the items that were not in the game yet, and I would look at something, like, oh, wait, is that in the game? Like, right as I was waiting for it to turn day, I was like, wait, do mobs even burn in daylight yet? But luckily they have done that for a while. Block works in this version? The world? I did not expect Pick Block to work like that. But oh well. So now we lost a lot of dirt from that because I had a stack of it. Now we're down to 120. And we don't need food at least now since we got killed. But today's tasks, we took it really slow yesterday, is to you start some very basic mining. We're gonna get a mine. So the thing I'm excited about is just like building and like just having fun with the game. Like I've tried mentioning before, but I haven't had a chance to do this in forever. So I think we're gonna build a little mine over here, and then we'll build the actual base here once we get torches. Torches is kind of the thing that I am waiting for us to get to, which we should be there shortly. So I mean, it shouldn't be too bad. Because there's a lot of worlds where there's just tons of ores available through the top, like coal you can mine and stuff. But we don't have that luxury here, unfortunately, but oh well. Have to get some materials and go mining. So, looks like you can mine about maybe 35 items before your thing breaks. I'm gonna do what my guess is. You so close. I was, no, 30. I was close. Close enough. Okay, so you can get about 30 blocks out of a wooden pickaxe. Not horrible. Not horrible. We will take the top. Not much. There's not much we can smelt yet besides food, which we can go hunting for. Actually, I think that's gonna be. We got about 20 cobble. Let's get a little bit more so I can make some tools. Have some stuff. So now that we got some tools, let's move over. Oh, here's a sheep. I mean, there's no reason to kill them because you don't get food from them. So we might as well just leave them. So I'm assuming shops are gonna be the way. We want to get some food ready because I know I'm gonna get jumped by a spider again. We have a tiny bit of wool. I don't know exactly what I want to do with all of it. But I mean, we do got tons of sheep here. So what I'm trying to remember now is if there's even a point to killing them or not. Since I don't know if they grow their wool back yet. But if they do, then maybe I shouldn't have smacked them with a sword, so I could have gotten more out of it. But oh well. We're gonna head back down to the mine, get some cobble, and then we're gonna start laying out the very basic house design. Cows. Might as well go kill a couple of them. Good, we can get some very basic. Yes. Start laying very basic stuff in it. Any more? Workshop right there, so we can keep hitting I. That's one thing really funny about this is I keep going to smack I because or E because I'm so used to it being E, but now it's I. Okay. Okay, so I had a slight change of plans. I'm gonna go over to this mountain. Let's look at the time. Uh, we're gonna go over to this mountain and try to look for some coal. But looks like we are not gonna have enough time for that one tonight. So, yeah, that's gonna be a tomorrow thing. Got a tiny bit more leather. Let's fix that. So the house is already gonna look different since it got exploded day one. I apologize if you can't see because I can't either. No way. There's no way. Wow. Okay, this is huge. We can do stuff at night now. I can't believe it was just right there. This is big. I think this is a great spot to end this first part, though. Yeah, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna post these titles as like what day it is for me and like posting this back in time or just episode numbers, which I might just do episode numbers realistically because it'd be less confusing. But you know, this was really slow. This was me trying to remember how to record stuff again because I haven't really recorded anything for a little bit. I mean, I have a podcast on the side that I do, so I know I got practice talking and I do that kind of stuff, but I haven't done one in how has it been like? It's been like 2 months since I've recorded one of those. So it's been on the side. Yeah. So that's all I had for this one. If you want to check me out other places, I am Pokemon Bracket or PB as they call me. I'm on Instagram and I'm also on YouTube. This is the secondary channel where I'm going to be posting gameplay, Minecraft, other little things like that that I enjoy but aren't exactly Pokemon. Because like I like Pokemon and stuff, but I have a bigger passion for other things, and I feel like I might as well try to do stuff with it. But yeah, that was it for this time. I will see you guys next time as we continue to progress a little bit, and then we also need to start getting ready for the spooky update. So, till next time, bye. Hi guys, I'd like to welcome you guys back into another episode of Timelocke. This is the first episode officially. If you tuned in last time, thank you for tuning in for the first episode. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty rough. Things didn't exactly go to plan how I wanted them, or other stuff like that. But it was a learning process, and I got a little bit extra from this. Little spoiler alert for this episode: I'm actually voicing over afterwards. I've never done this before for a video, so we'll see if this like does things a little differently. It was I recorded this episode really late at night and I was a bit tired. So you're just gonna see my gameplay as I walk around for an intro I haven't even explained yet. But we can get into that. So last episode we ended it in the dark and we ended up finding coal right under our base as it got night. And we got lucky enough to get torches, which was something that we were really in need for as it's pitch dark at night and I kind of just have to stand there and as I can't see and I don't want mobs spawning. So it was a whole can of worms I didn't want to get into. But luckily we got that now. So that's going to make us doing other stuff a lot easier. which I am super happy for. But that's not the point of what's going on right now. I kind of want to take a step back and look at the series real quick because it's something I mentioned last time in my quiet little intro and other stuff like that. But it's like, why am I doing this? Why is stuff like this? And the answer for that is a little complicated. Not really complicated. Is just more that it's going to take a while to explain. And I got ideas for other episodes, talking points off of it. Because when I was at work yesterday, I was sitting there, I was bored, trying to think of some ideas, and I was like, you know what? So I got out a piece of cardboard and a pen, and I literally started writing ideas down. I got about 8 ideas written down for episodes to talk about little things that were on my mind and stuff I think that would make really interesting, just conversation points as I'm, playing Alpha Minecraft. And the very first one I have here is why do this? And it was the simplest one, perfect one for this episode, and other things like that. It's like, why just like why do this? And I was like, okay, well, the reason for this goes in multiple things. It's like, okay, certain YouTubers influenced me. I have tried doing YouTube a couple times, never like actually effort, most of me when I was a child doing stuff like that. And then also just other little things like that. So I started writing ideas and ideas and ideas, and they kept going down and down and down. And I was like, okay, wait, this is really cool. And I was like, I could make this like mini podcast, as I mentioned in the past, where I bring a topic up and I play Minecraft, and that's just like what it is. This is just a relaxing type of deal where we get to enjoy this time and do lots of little fun things, as I explore Alpha again, trying to remember to do is like, oh yeah, I gotta craft torches, little things like that. So it's something I'm definitely very fond of and something that could be very enjoyable because it's something I've never seen before. Because it's gonna mix YouTubers I've watched, other types of things I've watched, and all that kind of stuff all into one loop. But before we dive into the question more, as I keep like diverging off multiple points, I originally planned on releasing like 2 or 3 of these episodes all at once and then advertising it, getting into a good spot where I like the quality of them. But I released the first episode yesterday 2 nights ago, and I went to bed, got up, had one view. I'm like, oh, that's cool. One random person clicked on it. Then I went to work and I got home and it had it had 91 views on it. It was almost at 100 views, and I was like, wait a second, this is really weird. I'm like, this video, first of all, it sucks. It's very crappy. The the audio doesn't sound good. I had to make weird cuts. I used really crappy Clipchamp font on it. Like, this is no high point. This is not supposed to be the video that does really well. Now I've been checking on it. Now it's been a day and a half since the video came out. It's at 118. And the problem is the retention's a minute like 18 seconds. So if you made it this far, you've doubled the retention time of the last video. So I seriously do appreciate you. And I was like, oh crap. I need to, do something about this. And I was like, okay, I gotta fix my audio. So I went to record this episode. I was half asleep. Audio is so quiet. Like, there's some points of it where it peaks higher than I'm at right now, but it just sounds like I'm sleepy. I don't really know what I'm talking about. I'm mumbling. It's all that kind of stuff where it doesn't seem like it's working too well, and it puts me in a bad spot where it's like, okay, crap. First video sucked. It got good traction. I just made that same video again in the video saying I wasn't going to make it crappy. So I need to fix this. And so I went to be like, I'm just going to voice over little sections of it. And I was like, if I sound sleepy and I go from quieter to louder and then quieter to louder, I'm like, this is just going to be a complete mess. So I'm like, okay, let's just scrap the whole thing. I'm going to open the video, I'm going to watch it, and I'm just going to talk over it. As that's my chance. As you see me doing right now, I was about to go fight a creeper. And it just, I was hoping that this would be a better direction for this video. And I hope I don't have to do this more because I was like, I want to get to the point where I can talk and play, have great insight, have good ideas, and I think I will be able to because I got some funny topics and some more things I'm passionate about that could be really funny in like the title where it's like it'll be Timelocke episode 5 slash some random thought, some random opinion, and it'll be like, oh, that's interesting, and you'll want to click on it, and it'll just be me just talking about whatever this random thing is that's on my mind. So that's where this all came from. That's how this section of this has all happened, and why this video is going to sound better, worse, however you want to say, compared to the second one. Sorry, compared to episode 0, I should say, since I don't know why I did the first one 0. I went to go upload. I'm like, yeah, we'll just put this 000. and then the thumbnail says 01 because editor Ibs, who is, if you're from the other channel, you'll know all about him. He's been on his uni leave, and so I was like, "Hey, can you please throw this together for me?" Because I had one that was even worse than that, and then the one that was posted, and he half followed it. But oh well, it was late night for him. He shouldn't even have been awake at that point. But he did it for me, and I appreciated it. So thank you, Ibs, if you are watching this. Yeah, so the whole thing was just a train wreck. My only saving grace is the fact that it was a channel not connected to me much. I linked my original Pokemon bracket channel in the description of it, but I didn't advertise it, I didn't show it to anybody, and then I had my editor look at it after I sent it to him. I was like, "Hey, wait a second. This is like kind of starting to blow up a little bit." I'm like, "Why is there so much like views on it?" I'm like, "That this wasn't supposed to happen. This was supposed to be a, oh, 5 or 6 views. It's a cool idea. It catches on a little bit." And obviously, we're still a long ways from it, like fully catching on. But it's like, if I can pull 118 in with a crappy video, what happens if I make a good video? Like the sky's the limit at this point. Where it's like, okay, wait, I can do stuff. I can make it. There's people that would love to sit here and watch alpha Minecraft and me explore my way through the game. And so that's kind of the objective that I'm going to sit at is I want people to be able to enjoy just these videos and stuff like that. So that's where this comes in. Another issue I had with myself, this has just become me complaining about how I suck at video editing and recording, is that I kept looking away from the mic. So it would sound good, and then I would turn my head away because I would have OBS open, I would have Minecraft open, and I would want to glance back and forth and make sure my audio levels are looking good. And so me doing that ended up causing me to sound like I would sound like I was talking away from the microphone, and like so my voice would go in and out, in and out. I'm like, oh my goodness! And so watching back that episode, it's horrible. I don't even wanna click on it, but I kinda see it as a start because, like, if you look at any old YouTubers, like example Stampy, his very first few Lovely World videos were not good. I mean, just to say for the lightest, it was him softly spoking, him making his Xbox world, him looking around, him yelling at creepers and all that kinda stuff, and it has that charm of it. I guarantee you he looks back at that video and cringes. Or back when he was still making stuff, he's like, wow, he's like, I really started here. And then he went into his kid friendly, all that kind of stuff. But in his early videos, he kind of had a style similar to what I'm trying to do. Back before he like went really into with like Lee and the role play and the storytelling and stuff like that. Back before he realized he was like going for kids, it was more of him playing Minecraft and talking with his dogs and planning on what he was building. And like, I want to take that and then I want to mix it with like real life. So this it can be a time capsule, as I've talked about in the past, where things mix, things go really well, stuff like that, where I'm able to look back at this 10, 15 years down the line and be like, "Oh, that's super cool how oh, I was talking about this in the news. I can't believe that even happened. I forgot that person did that or that celebrity passed away," or little things like that. I was like, wow, I really like that thing." So, it's just really cool to be able to look back at this kind of stuff and be able to capitalize on it somehow. So I think all that preamble is out of the way. I mean, this is a good 10 minutes now. We're into this, and I haven't even like dove into the why. I've talked about how and the crapshoot this was and all the mess and stuff like that. So now it's like, okay, why am I doing this? The real thing is that I've wanted to do Minecraft YouTube or just YouTube in general because Minecraft's been like one of my passions. It's a game that I played for more of my life than I haven't, which is a crazy thing to say. I started playing the game in like 2012, 2013-ish is when I discovered the game. I can't remember if that's exactly when I was playing it on iPad or when all that stuff is because like the dates kind of get messed up in my head, and I've tried pinpointing it in the past. And when I was in school, I was second or third grade. We had to do this project. We had to make a timeline. And one of the first things on my timeline was literally me playing Minecraft for the first time. I think I put it as January of 2012, but that might have been too early because like I've tried looking back into like Pocket Edition updates, looking at like the screen, looking at old screenshots I have from 10 years ago to try to like, pinpoint when I actually started playing because I generally don't remember when. But So with Minecraft being such a big part of my life, I just have wanted to express myself creatively in it the way that so many people I got to watch did. And it made me really inspired to do stuff. There has been multiple series where I was like, "Oh, that's so cool," and I would do it on my own. For example, I mentioned Stampy earlier. His friend, Ballistic Squid, he had a Skyland series where he just started in a Skyland and he wasn't around to touch the ground on the world, and that was it. He did that for like what 100 so episodes. I made my own. I was a kid. I got to act like I was doing what he did, and I remember late in the series, he ended up water bucketing down into a cave. I think this is basically when the shark it's like I forget the exact wording. It's like when you jump the shark. There you go. Or his series jumped the shark, and he's like, you know what? If I'm on water, I'm not touching land. So then he went into caves, got diamonds, and then that's basically where the series wrapped it up. But I remember being in a world and doing that stuff too, and it just brings me back to that happy state of wait, I'm able to now possibly do that for others because I'm at the point in life where I don't know what I want to do. I'm working at a retail job. I'm not sure what the plan is. It's like I'm a few years out of high school. I got nothing to do. It's like I want to find a way to express myself. And that's kind of where the Pokemon bracket thing came from as I was like, "You know what? Why don't I just make something cool?" And so I made that Instagram page. I started gaining thousands of followers, and now I'm at the point now where I created a Pokemon community off a game I don't even play much, which was probably my biggest fumble, I would call it, is because I've been much bigger sports fan and Minecraft fan. I played Pokemon games since I was little, but I never gave them the time of day that I gave Minecraft or even watching sports. So it makes me be like, dang, maybe I picked the wrong thing. But then also at the same time, I've been really blessed because I've got to talk with tons of smaller creators, talk to bigger creators. I've gotten to do lots of cool things like that. So it's like I kind of see it as a better learning opportunity for me than like a fumble, as I was calling it. Because now it's like, okay, I got that experience building a small community. Let me try again. So that's where this comes from and how I want to kind of build this up. Because I started the other thing on Instagram and I tried pulling people to YouTube, but I did it in a poor way because I liked how Instagram was laid out, and I didn't want to have to move a file, then move a file back, and it was just a whole mess that I really wasn't into. So I said, you know what? I'll keep this Instagram and I'll make other content on the YouTube. And I didn't end up getting a chance to make other content on YouTube as I kind of just like didn't have that creative idea. That niche, that amazing idea didn't hit me. Over my course of making or thinking, I've had four really cool ideas. One of them was to click my brackets account, and one is this. The idea, though, it came to me only a few weeks ago as I'm recording this. We are sitting in the middle of October for people, who knows, 3 years down the line listening to this in 2025. And I was like, wait a second. It's like, what if I like take how I play this game and kind of like put it on its head a little bit, where it's like, what if I go back to enjoy Minecraft, but I'm forced to seriously play the game? That makes it so I have to enjoy certain things, and also I have to just relearn stuff because that's the thing with this game is there's so much that I have forgotten over the years, mechanics, way things work and stuff like that. Because like I'll be at when it hits nighttime and before I had torches and stuff, I would just sit there and I would plan things, be like, okay, crap, let me look into things, and then I saw, oh wait, there's minecarts in this version, and then I was like, wait, there isn't powered rails or anything. Like, oh crap, we gotta do bumping, which is something that I completely forgot about. Where you got to make a minecart track spin around in a circle, and that one's boosting will bump the cart forward, and so you'd have to make little stations of that to bounce it around. As it was that long ago that, oh yeah, you literally had no other way to power your rails, and it's like I love that type of thought experiment where I actually have to go back into the recesses of my mind and I have to think about, oh my gosh, this is such an old thing, and it's almost like a puzzle at some point where I'm like, okay, this is really cool. And so I'm looking forward to doing that over the next, 15 years as we make it to copper tools, because there's no goal for the series, but the goal is going to be that I jokingly said was, hey, let's get copper tools, and Problem is, I'm not gonna get copper tools till that's 2040. In 2040, I'll be 35. That just is crazy. This is a type of project that would take such a long time and do tons of crazy things that I don't know anybody would put the time into realistically doing it, is how I feel. Because I'm already like, okay, this is a bit of a time sink. And especially in the earlier days when beta was updating so quickly, I'm going to play a lot. But then there's going to be the gaps, like when you get to 1.9 or 1.10, where Minecraft dies down, they don't add a lot of content. But then it's like, crap, what happens when I get to 1.21 and when they start doing the drops? It's like, okay, that means I'm going to have like four or so months to play with all the new content, then boom, more content's going to drop right in. So that'll be very interesting as watching the phases of Minecraft updates kind of just go through and how they evolved, how they change, and stuff like that. So the series brings a lot of really cool opportunities to me, but then also a lot of very interesting questions. Like, can I do this for 15 years? I'm gonna have a life by then. Because realistically, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do in life. I'm not gonna be working a dead end job, making just over minimum wage, and not having much to it. I got aspirations. I got dreams. I want to do stuff, and I just wonder if if this series can even make it that long. Obviously, my goal is, as you saw in the title, there's three zeros in total on the episode zero and now two this time because we're gonna hit 100 episodes in this series. I don't know. Will we hit it by the end of the year? Realistically, no, because maybe next year we hit 100 on it because that'd be me posting every single day, and with only a couple months until the end of the year, it would be a very ballsy goal. But I mean, you think about it. I post what maybe 100, 180 episodes a year. If this thing takes me 15 years, I would be at like GMM levels of episodes for series and stuff like that, which is just wild to think about that like something like this has the opportunity to branch out and become its own thing. Another type of thing I can see for this is Mog Swamp. If you haven't seen him before, he's recently popped off in the last, I think, 2 or 3 years, where basically he's lived in a super flat world for the last 10 or 11 years. He's documented the whole process on YouTube. Something like that is super cool and is another like mini inspiration for this type of thing. Because I'm sitting here talking about it and I like start picturing what he did in his world, where he has a story, he has a world, and then like I sit there watching it like, dang, I really wish I could have done this. And I can't because you can't just make 10 years of history in a world. You can't just go through the updates quickly. Like everybody has wanted to, like go back to alpha and then you update every day or every hour and you see YouTube videos doing that. But the problem is you only get so much of the experience if you just play stagnantly in the world like that. Like it's not gonna give you the same as if, oh, I'm literally in alpha for the next 6 months. There's nothing you can do. It's like every day I get on, I'm gonna play Minecraft Alpha. And that's where you leave it. And that's why I'm excited to document my process and do this kind of stuff with it. So that kind of is the why, the how, and like a lot of other little things I kind of wrapped up into this. As I didn't have bullet points or anything for this. I kind of just started just speaking off of the dome and like trying to give basic things like that. Because like I'm literally on lunch from work right now. I drove home and I'm like, you know what? I got to get this thing figured out. There's no one here. I can talk louder. The thing video won't be super quiet. Let me just say what I can. Like I might be overdue to go back to work at this point. I don't even know. But that's not the point. And this thing just kind of makes me excited because I'll be sitting there at work, I'm a grown man at this point, and I'm like, wait, I want to record this Minecraft episode. This is gonna be fun. And I just think it's kind of funny that I'm getting this feel for Minecraft again. Because you know about the 2 week Minecraft phase with you and your friends and all that stuff. Like we've done that. I've had Cobblemon servers now multiple times, and everything dies off because you need other players to make it what it is. If you do something on your own, you don't need those other players to make it possible or have stuff happen. So that's hopefully where this series can excel where others didn't. I want to be the next Stampy. I want to do stuff like that. Like obviously I'm not going to like educate children, not educate, I should say entertain children and teach them good things. Like I'm gonna say some stupid stuff on here. Who knows what's gonna happen? I'll be like, oh look, this happened in the news, idiot, or something along those lines. Where I'm not gonna be him, but I want to show what it's like to be a kid who grew up on him, make an impact on this game the way he made an impact on us, if that makes any sense. Because I've recently seen stuff too where people take his lovely world and they just are being him again as his world continues. And it's stuff like that that I just seriously love how there's so many of us that are the exact same who grew up on things like that and are now able to go off and make our own stuff, but it shows the influence, it shows how he made us, and it shows just so much upon it, which I just really appreciate. I just really hope that one day I can leave an impact and stuff like that, because that's the beauty of the internet. End of the day is the fact that stuff is on here forever. They say they always say you gotta watch for your digital footprint, and once you post something, it's always on here. Because I mean, I've had other YouTube channels. Luckily, I privated the crazy things, and the other stuff's obscure. So I have tons of channels out there floating around, and I don't want to say I challenge you guys to do it because some of them show me really who I am, my real face and stuff from 7 years ago when I was a child with my little sister and our friends just recording dumb skits and videos like that. So it makes me grateful almost in a way to be able to take another stab at this YouTube game after doing stuff for so many years, because I used to always make little skits and I used to like direct mini videos, and that's where my fun came in. And then I wanted to make gaming stuff. And then I wanted to make gaming stuff but in a better way. And then I kind of went on a hiatus where I just played and I watched YouTubers and I'm like, man, I really wish I could do this. And I didn't push myself as the issue. I wanted to push myself, but I didn't have the motivation to do it like I do now. Having an account hit 11,000 followers on Instagram, having a community that loves your videos does wonders and oodles to your confidence. And you're being like, wait a second, I can do this. I need to do it. That happens with me because I'm talking with this one Minecraft, not Minecraft, Pokemon YouTuber who's slowly blowing up right now. And at first I was like jealous, like why can't this be me? Why can't I do it? And it's like I haven't put the time in to do it. So it's like why should I get mad at other people because I was too lazy? I didn't want to put effort in to get results like he does. He works his butt off. He makes great videos. He's slowly evolving. He is doing all of that amazing stuff. And it's like, why be mad when I can help, when I can be grateful, when I can be there? I want to watch him get big. I want to watch him do what others dreamed. And so that leaves me at the point I am, where I'm super happy to watch others grow. And I want to help others too. I know this is probably really deep for a random alpha episode. But this is what happens when I decide to not record in real time and chop trees and look at stuff and try to figure things out like that as I slowly learn the old Minecraft controls again, like forgetting you can't sprint or the fact that it gets dark really quickly. Just little things like I'm trying to think of a second one there. I'll be honest, I could not think of much besides sprinting or the inventory key being flipped to the wrong one. That one got me way too many times. I kept hitting E and it would do nothing. I can't go on the controls to flip it, but just for sake, I'm not gonna flip it. That's mean. I couldn't do that. And then here you're gonna see me. I'm actually gonna start on the house. And funny enough, as I start putting these pillars up on it, it made me think back to when Stampy made his stuff. Like if I don't know, I keep comparing it to him a lot, but he is the biggest influence. He is the reason that I have so much of this stuff happen. It's because I just grew up watching him and it was really him. He was, I think, my first YouTuber. And so a lot of stuff I pull will be from him. I will probably mention him the most out of any other thing on this channel. It's gonna be how he did it. And as I built this, I was imagining his walk-in from where he started his house, where it was the entrance wooden box room that had the some glass on the roof and stuff like that. and it was really weird going to build something knowing that this could possibly start it. No one goes into a series being like, "Wow, this is gonna turn into something." But I kind of walked into it with knowing that it could, and it just gives me a different perspective as I do things because it's always fun to live in the moment and enjoy the stuff as you're doing it. But I don't always want to live in the moment. I like looking at the future. That's why I kind of suck at playing this game sometimes. It's because I sit there, I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do next? I'm like, okay, this doesn't look good. It's like others build so much better than me. Why am I posting this? Like this sucks. And it's like it doesn't matter. I'm here to have fun. I'm playing alpha Minecraft. I'm doing something unique I've never seen done before. Let me savor this moment and let me enjoy it. So that's kind of the point that I'm sitting at here. And I'm just happy because this has the chance, if other people enjoy it, to become much more. And I want to take traits from other things too. I'm not just gonna say Stampy because I've mentioned him 12 times at this point. I have a list of 4 YouTubers who have completely inspired this channel and this series, which I will get into at a different time. And that'll be something that I'll be really looking forward to. That'll be a future episode down the line. And I do really think that's going to be it I have for this one. This is a completely different vibe from last time. This is just me yapping. This is just me trying to talk. This is me getting the thumbnail right now as the video ends. So, Snipper Tool coming in clutch for us. But yeah, that's all I had for this first episode. Let me know what you think about it. I do want to do a way to honor fans like a Love Garden. I need to stop mentioning him up, but I want to do my own certain thing. So any ideas, any comments, leave them down below. I'd love to honor you guys in this world as it grows. That is all for me today. Have a good rest of your day. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into episode 3 now of Timelocke. I keep forgetting what the name of the series is at this point. I've introed multiple times saying welcome back to the podcast, which is really funny to do in this. But we are back here in the starter shack as we do, and I gotta start this off with I made myself another stupid mistake last episode. So I got home, I recorded the episode, it went really well, I had great talking, I was moving well, and I get done with it, and I go to look at it, and I recorded the wrong screen. I recorded my OBS instead of the Minecraft screen. So I am now 3 straight episodes of this where I've made a dumb mistake. I am very impressed how I keep managing to do this. But, so that means that I lost footage for what we did last episode. So I guess I'll briefly just run you through what we did. During the nights, we expanded down here. So this room is starting to slowly get bigger. And I started making this a little bit bigger too. I was kind of just talking and just mining when it became nighttime. So tonight, in this episode, I'm going to be cutting it because I got to use the inner mining as the footage for episode 2. So that's what's up with that, if anybody's curious. And then, excitingly, we worked on this a little bit. We got some more progress out here. Today's going to be more of a planning episode and doing stuff. In the past, if you've been watching, you know I got my cardboard list I've talked about where I got 7 ideas that I want to talk about. We've hit 2 so far. I was looking at it and I was like, nah, we're going to take a break. Today's going to be a more fun, more looking at things and planning what's next. So we got this big building started. And so today we'll be finishing the exterior, I guess I don't know what to call this crap, we'll be finishing whatever this is, and then we will start on the inside a little bit more. So I think I'm just gonna flat the back like this. I think that's gonna make the most sense for me in this scenario, and I'm about out of this wood. I also was messing with stairs and a pressure plate I made on accident, and I wasted some materials. That's also awesome. So overall, it was a very, very interesting time. Check it out if you want to. Just the footage is gonna be stuff. Gosh, I swear. One of these days, I'm gonna make a flawless episode, guys. Okay, trust. If you just keep following along, you're doing that. So anyway, as I'm recording this, though, we hit 5 subscribers, so that's a pretty cool mini milestone to hit. So thank you to the people who said, you know what, I'm gonna follow along. So we will hopefully keep going. Road to 10 at this point in this mini Minecraft world. And let's see, I gotta look at the date real quick. I'm gonna move away from the microphone, I apologize. Today we are looking at October 25th. If things go to plan and this thing gets uploaded on time, and that means we're only probably 2 or 3 episodes away from updating. We're gonna be moving up to the next version, which is exciting. I got really lucky because I had this idea in the back of my head for a couple months to do the series, and I was like, crap. But I'm like, I gotta pick an update that lines up. And luckily, Alpha 1.2 landed up perfectly with this. That gave me about a week or so to make videos beforehand. So I thought that was really cool how it ended up lining up for us. So just like that, the night is over and some time has elapsed. I was able to record a good amount of footage for last episode, not tomorrow, for last episode. And I guess we got a few little goodies mining. We got a good amount of iron. We got a lot of cobblestone, and I discovered a cave down there, which I will be going back to exploring in the future. And also tons of coal, which I'm really excited about. Funny enough, the reason I ended up having to come back was I was running out of wood. I ran out of wood, and so Adventure came to an end. This was my last pickaxe, or I couldn't have done anything else. So we are back now. We're gonna get a little bit more progress on the house, and then I'm gonna walk you through the plans for all of this. That's the thing, is the durability on these stone tools are so low. Like, it's incredibly low. We're gonna need a crafting table in here, so I'm gonna just leave this one in here. If we're going, might as well take the rest of the tools we're gonna need, since they're gonna run out on us, and better to have backups. So all we got really left for the exterior of this is just this, and we will have at least one layer of this done. We can cap that off, flip that back. I did not mean to do that. And now we got, wouldn't say it's pretty exterior, but we got an exterior. Wait, I can grab something out of this chest real quick. So originally we had cobblestone like this so I could have some stairs to walk up, and nice, all smooth. So now this is all good. Next thing on the list is gonna be doors. I'm pretty sure there's doors in the game. I would just yeah, no, it was an early feature doors first. We should be good. I also may need to make a flint and steel for some of these trees that are burning. You know what? Let's go do that. I know that tick speed in the old versions used to be crazy if my memory does me well. So I'm assuming stuff is gonna burn really quickly. Oh, is it? Okay, yeah, it actually is. It's shaped. Let's test this theory away from my wooden house. Let's see. Yep, look at that. Like, I wish this was still in the game. Like, this is incredible. Uh-oh. Wood that we can. And see, this is why it's not still in the game. Like, I didn't think it was going to spread that far. But okay, so this is gone now. It's incredibly satisfying to watch it burn, though. I will say. Yeah, try to steal. I don't think all the wood's gonna burn, though. Hopefully those ones do. I don't really feel like climbing up there to fix it. Light one more. I don't want to use too much of this durability because it's a little expensive with it being iron and stuff, which we don't have a lot of right now. I just want to light the building on fire, but I will not do that, guys. I promise. Not yet. Maybe in the future we will. We got one sapling. If we place a few more of those down. So, Anyway, now that we got the exterior planned, let's move into base plan. So, originally I was going to put the mine here. The length of this building was a little bigger than I expected it to be. So, oh well, quick little change of plans. I'm saying we shift the mine to... We could connect it to out here. We could shift the mine to right here. Then have it go underground right next to it, and then have a entrance from there into the mine, so I don't have to worry about walking outside into the mine. I do like that idea, so if we... And then I think for the mine, it's going to be a very simple cobblestone box, is the way I see this. The fun thing about this is, I'm not even going to care how stuff looks. I'm going to make somewhat stuff look good, and I'm like, I'll make the exterior a bit nicer, but... I'm here to have fun, not be critiqued by professional builders. Unless there's some professional builders watching, and I do apologize. I'll leave it there for the moment. Before I did get distracted and started burning down the forest, I was gonna look into doors. Oh, yikes, they don't stack. I forgot about that. There we go. Oh, that's nice. Oh, it looks like they're sensitive, because I went to go hit the door and it missed. Okay, maybe I just misclicked or something, but I felt like maybe they had worse hitboxes than, we have them nowadays and stuff. Are you kidding me? It's dark again. I don't want to have the time cut. Okay, to be fair, I did spend like 15 minutes mining. So, it's not the biggest of deals. Okay, I'm going to cut back to the morning again, and then we will walk through. I'm actually not going to spend a crazy amount of time this time. Okay, guys, so we're back. It was night again. It's a very boring night, but so we can get back over here to base plans. So, if we do this to there, I'm thinking I'll do wooden path. I'm going to do wooden path. I think that'll work out nice. So then if we take this... The only thing is I'm going to move this. I'm going to make it just a 2-block. It'll look nicer. Nicer that way, and it makes more sense, overall for this. The line up with the pathway is the big thing. So then the other 2 things I really want to make is I want to do a train station, and then I also do start planning out like a city. I think a city would be really cool to make. Obviously, like it would be like down over the horizon and stuff. But I don't know. It just took me a sec. I'm just looking. It just looks really nice seeing this. I don't know why. It's kind of pretty. Just staring off over at this. I gotta put something down here. I'll definitely be using this land. It just makes me happy just seeing these old textures and just living in the moment, making this little world, not knowing what's gonna come next. I don't know, there's just some nostalgia for something I don't really have nostalgia for, because I played some early versions of this, like back when I very first started, but it wasn't, it wasn't on here. It wasn't Java. It was Bedrock Edition, which was, I mean, PE. I don't keep calling it Bedrock Edition. It's very janky. It had tons of missing features, I should say. It had the Nether reactor. It had all kinds of random stuff, which you wouldn't even think to having that. You wouldn't even think of it nowadays and stuff. But it's really cool. And so this will just be a tiny little shed, basically. And that'll... And then right here is just going to be a path going down. And then this should like connect into there. And then do I make it a 2-pather? Will it look weird if I do this? Because you're gonna have to bang your head. It's gonna be unnatural for one spot. It's gonna be unnatural there. So we would either have to hide something back there, or... Look, I'm gonna... Let's do that. Good enough for now. It does what I need, and now... Then, I don't know, just gonna make the mine a little bit nicer, you know. All cobble coming down into it, and some other little stuff. Yeah, you can tell when I don't have a topic plan for this, it's a lot quieter, more relaxing. I'd probably say more boring, honestly. Because of me not having an idea what I'm doing. But, there's the mine. Get connected over to here. And then this will go... Oh, there's another tool. So then that'll connect to there. So then over here's realistically where the next set is going to be. I think a tree farm would be a really good thing to do. Because we're going to need a designated area for, like... What? Not an orchard, not the right word. Not even like a sawmill. I'm just trying to think of... I guess literally just a little place for a tree farm. Oh, I've not really explored the area. There's little caves and stuff. Which we'll need to look into. Well, the thing is, I don't want to explore crazy far because, you know, we are stuck with only oak trees right now, and I'm going to have to just travel a very far distance every time I want something new. So that's the only thing I'm a little hesitant about, but also then I do also want to preserve this alpha world and have, like, the alpha section, and then the beta, and then as the releases go on, more and more unique things for it. So I think before we end this episode, the last thing I want to do is I want to get this pathway set up, and so then we can start mining. Oh, I made two. We're going to probably need both of them anyway. And then I think next episode, we're going to probably get iron tools and start in the interior. Because, like, I'm not completely sold on the exterior to this thing. I mean, it's going to be very basic with the oak and stuff. But I think it'll work for the time being, especially until we unlock more blocks, because you can only do so much. Like, we're going to probably be using a lot of stone as one of our diverse blocks, even though it's going to be more of a pain to make. Also, this wood is very expensive for early in the game like we are. So this is a luxury. Crazy to think in the future, like, wow, that's what was a luxury for us, but it's kind of funny. But last thing for the train station, from my looking around, it would be cool to have something like, maybe we have it over here. I'll make a bridge, cross the bridge over this. This can dip down a little bit more, and then up there we can have the train station, and it can go off that way. So I really like the idea of it being there. But as this episode gets dark, I think we end it. It's been another great day. We'll be working on the roof to this thing shortly, and then we'll be able to start moving. Hopefully we can move before 1.2 into the real base. So we'll see where that leads from. Trying to go AFK for another 8 minutes because night is boring. As you can see, this room just slowly gets bigger and bigger, and down this way at least, this goes pretty deep down to a cave, which I've made it to, and then this side will go, and then this will also lead over into something. So lots of stuff planned for this, lots of excitement. We will see where it leads us to. But that's all I had for this episode, and I will see you guys later. Bye! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into another episode. This is episode 4, I believe, of Timelocke, and right now we are just waiting for the night to kind of wane. I went up there and looked. A creeper almost jumped at me through the one block hole. So I said, you know what? I'm done waiting. Let's just do a little bit of mining and get ready for the day because I haven't played. I haven't played in a couple days. Luckily, I bulk recorded a couple videos, but yeah, no, I haven't played any in about 2 or 3 days. So we gotta get some more progress done on it as the week is upon us. Today's episode, if it comes out on Monday, like as I'm recording it, then I should have nothing to worry about. Then hopefully tomorrow I can bulk make some videos for the week and have everything I need so that when we update to the alpha 1.2, I'm ready to go and we can get some stuff done with it. But one of the big things I want to do today is once it's day, I kind of want to go out there and torch up a lot of the area so that at night we can be outside a little bit more. That's one thing. It's super dark out there. So I'm not able to go out and explore and do lots of stuff like that. And when I was looking out there for like the first I want to say 3 or so minutes of the night. It was not even. It wasn't even that dark out. I mean, it's pitch dark out. There's no mobs, I should say, because I went around and lit up the outside of the house. But give it a little bit more time, so creepers spawn. They got a little closer, and that just makes us waste a lot of time. So I can't be doing as much stuff as I would want to actually be doing for this. So, yeah, that's my plan. Hopefully, another couple minutes, and we will be able to do that. I'm recording this one yet again as I'm on lunch, so I only got about half an hour. Oh, look, we got a cave. Cave alert. Cave alert. See where this is getting us. But yeah, I only got about half an hour to record and then eat something, so we will hopefully be done with this shortly. And there is some more coal. Can't go wrong with that. I don't know if mobs can spawn down in caves. Because I've yet to run into one, but also I only mine at night. So that could also be it. If they don't spawn in caves, this is a great addition they should have never gotten rid of. But that's something we will figure out. Well, the good thing is now, the next night, I can spend some time mining again, as we are going to need some more coal and some resources. So I am not mad about this cave find at all. This is a great thing. And we got a little bit of iron back here. So wonderful and great start to this. So on the docket for talking for today wise. First off, I posted my first short yesterday. It ended up getting about 1,000 views, so that's kind of funny. It was if you didn't see last episode, I went and made a flint and steel because I wanted to test the old fire spread. And as I was talking about how amazing it was, in the middle of my sentence, it spread over and caught another tree on fire. So I clipped that moment, and I thought it was kind of funny. So that is where that little clip came from, and I was like, yeah, that's a fun little one. And then it got 1,000 views. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So I was happy with it. Oh, where do I get back up at? I don't remember where we came. That's because we didn't come from here. That's why. There we go. Oh gosh, falling apart to start today. But great start is now we got multiple sides of the mine going down. This one obviously goes a little bit farther than this one, but now we got a fun cave to explore down there. It should be morning at this point. I want to go torch up and I want to get this house sorted. There was... Okay. We got a couple. Uh-oh. Maybe we just keep going. Uh-oh. Okay, we're dead. There's no way we can take both of these on. Yep. I can't hit this. Oh, whoa. We clutched it. We clutched it somehow. I don't know. I suck with this combat now. I don't know what it is, but the hitboxes on those spiders are so finicky, and I really struggle to hit them. I don't exactly know what it is. Maybe I just need to practice more with the old combat a little bit. But oh, we got another. You want the smoke? You want the smoke? You want it? You want it? There we go. See? He wasn't ready for the smoke. That's all I gotta say. So last time, if you didn't see what we did, this is gonna be our little mine. This is what I started. The thing I'm now debating is how if I connect it to the house or if I just leave it. That's what I don't know what I want to do exactly with it because Then I would throw off the like cobblestone illusion because I think right here is where it is. Because if I make a hole, oh, and we're one up too. I forgot about that. Okay, that also will play into this because we were one up from it because I wanted the house up and raised. Okay, so maybe what we do is it can connect through the basement. Like we will have like a door right here, and it leads into the basement because right here's this level. If we drop down 3, right here would be the basement. Once we get there. Yeah. Okay. So we'll put a hole in that. That will be the connecting area from the basement so that I can get in here at night and go mining. Then we got to figure out what we're going to do in here. Idea, I think we're going to put stairs like on the edge right here and it can go up into a second story. Let me just plan this. Then what we can do, I guess we could have like a double staircase actually, where both sides will staircase up and then it will lead to some more, which I do like. I have a slightly more open concept in here. Then I guess we'll get to the next part when we get there, but that works for that for the moment. So the next thing I want to do, I want to tackle placing some torches everywhere. We just went and got a lot more coal. So that'll make this slate thing easier. And then as we do the coal, I got a fun story from over the weekend I figured I would tell as I really struggled to do something that I typically do pretty well. So I'll get into that. So I'm a bit of a runner on the side. I ran cross country in high school and I also did track. So I was a big fan of, just running and stuff. And then recently, about a month or so ago, some friends from work were like, "You know what? Why don't you come do this 5K with us?" And I was like, "Okay, I haven't ran a 5K in about 3 years. I think it'd be fun. Good idea." And so they were pushing me for a while, and then I finally decided to go do it. And that's why I went for a couple weeks. Things were going well, and then coming up to this weekend, I went to go do it, and the day didn't start off well. It was really cold. It was 33 degrees outside of Fahrenheit. For Celsius, I don't know. It was just cold. It was frost, so my car was completely iced in the morning, and I was looking for some stuff to wear, and I couldn't find an undershirt to wear for it. So I had to just run in short. I had to run in short sleeve, and luckily I did find what I needed for my pants. So I only had a short sleeve, but then I had something against the wind for my legs. But then my big issue with it was I left like 10 minutes late. I couldn't find my undershirt. I was about 10 minutes late. I'm like, crap, this is not the day. Luckily, I got through traffic. I got like one red light. Everything went really well. I get there in time. They talked. It was like a Halloween one, is what they did. So some people dressed up and stuff like that for it. So we get ready to go up to the starting line, and I wore some sweats over top of my shorts and my leggings, I guess you could call them for it, just because I wanted to be extra warm and ready to go for it. And then as I was taking off my sweats, they started the race. And so there's probably like 50 something people here. And I am like, wait a second, why did the race just start? And I'm like kind of panicking. I'm like, I was not ready for this. So as I'm taking my sweats off, both of my shoes get stuck in the sweats. And I'm like, come on. So this older lady looked over at me and she was like, I'll get it for you. I'm like, I can't, my shoes are stuck in them. So then I had to spend time getting my shoes out and then I finally got to start the race. So I probably got like a 20-second disadvantage on the race. So then the race started, and I was like, crap. And so I went out probably a 5:20 mile pace, what it was. I went out pretty quick, and I was like, oh, I gotta hurry up. So then I had to weave through tons of people and all kinds of things. And I was like, this is not going well. I mean, my, I was just spiked I don't even know what to call it. My adrenaline was, like we could say for it, and I was ready to go. I was not feeling well about the race beforehand, and then this didn't help at all for it. So then after I got my adrenaline all spiked, I was going, and then so basically it's on this like old railroad track which they converted to a bike trail about 30 years ago is what we run it on. So you go 5K, if you don't know, is 3.1 miles. So you run 1.55 out, and then we flip around, and it's like a really tight turn. As I go to take this turn, I trip and fall, and I barely catch myself, and I lose my earbud out my ear. And this lady who was watching is like, "Oh no!" I'm like, "I'm okay." And so everything was against me. I started the race 20 seconds late. I tripped, and after at the end of this, there was this lady running with her dog, and she was the only one ahead of me. And I was like, I watched her head me the entire race. I couldn't tell if she was a runner at first or if she was just, just running her dog on the side. But she was. She turned around when I did. So I'm like, okay, crap. I can't let this girl beat me. So right at the end, I speed up a little sooner than I wanted to, and like I had a feeling this dog was gonna bite me as well. That doesn't help with it. I don't know why, but I didn't like this dog. It was really sketchy. Like it got up close to me a couple times, and I'm like, please don't bite me. I've had a bad enough day. Knowing my luck, I would have got bit. But I sped up. Got out a little too quick than I wanted to, and then I saw the dog catch up to me, and then I ended up seeing the finish line. So then I got the sprint, and I barely beat that dog by about 3 seconds. I ran for my life there right at the end, and I got across the finish line, and I was like, this was so stupid." I had my freaking energy spiked. I had a very messy race, and after all of that, I still ended up winning the race and getting first and beating that lady by 3 seconds. And then we stayed over for about an hour or so afterwards, and then I got to go see my time, and it was exactly 20 seconds short. I was 20 seconds off from my hand time on my phone that I run with, and I was like, "Come on, this could not have went any worse than the way it did." So I thought it was really funny how chaotic of a race I ended up having for it. And at the end of the day, I ended up still getting first and having a good time. I didn't PR from the last one, which is PR's your personal record, so it'll be your quickest race you've done. And there, that was the fourth one I did, and that was the first time I didn't. I was off by probably like 20-ish seconds from getting a quicker time. So hopefully next weekend I will be able to do a little better than that. But that was definitely it was definitely a funny experience. And I was thinking about it at work yesterday, and I was like, I figured I might as well tell this little story on the pod, because one of the things I was big about is having stories and also having this be a time capsule, as I have worded it multiple times at this point. If you guys are not aware, to memorize little fun things that have happened in my life or stuff like that I can look back on. Because at the end of the day, I am just playing Minecraft, but I also want to remember some type of things. So that's so yeah. I figured I would tell that little story. I guess we're gonna have to go mining again, because night kind of flipped around really quick. I'm gonna probably this will be another shorter episode, I'm gonna assume, because it's getting a little bit later for me. It's almost 1:30 in the afternoon as I am recording this, so that's a little insight into the strange times I end up having to record these. Oh, I already had wood. I don't know why I did that. But anyway, we just tore through our coal when I went out there and just placed 2 stacks of torches. So now we gotta go recoup our losses. Oh, just fell down that hole. Gosh. It is not going to plan at all. So I guess talk about some other things related to YouTube. We hit a 10 subscribers, so we doubled from the last point. So if you're watching, thank you. As you know, I thank you somehow for sticking along. It's just kind of became the thing I say at this point to everybody. So super cool seeing that and seeing it slowly grow, as I'm just playing Minecraft and just randomly talking about stupid stuff. Like today I talked about how I forgot how to run a 5K and had some very bad luck with it. And who knows, tomorrow I may have something else really random to talk about. So it's really going to be a day by day basis, because I still don't have like a theme or overall way I want to structure these episodes. which I think is also a really cool part of this. It's like I have the freedom to just try lots of things. Like, let's say the story doesn't do well. It's like, okay, fine. I won't tell any more personal stories or any funny things that happened to me. I'll save it towards Minecraft and childhood and stuff I looked up to and little things like that. Because one of the next episodes I want to do is I want to talk about the YouTubers who inspired this series. Because I was thinking about it and I was like, okay, who are the people that shaped me for this? And well, the people that did shape me for this was I have 4 different YouTube channels who are going to be my biggest influences and that you will see the most throughout all of this. Funny enough, I was thinking, and all 4 of them somehow connect to the first, but it's really 2 branches off of each other. That these oh, it's gold. Sorry, I just got distracted. But that's the first time I have actually like found another ore, but we can't mine that yet. That's cool. I was starting to forget there's even ores in this game because all I've done is mine coal and iron. That's where I've left this at. I want to see what's around here. It's really cool seeing this old lava texture because I did miss it. It's been a long time. Well, I'm gonna stay back from that. But yeah, so basically the YouTubers who inspired me, it is they 4 of them, but 2 and 2 they all split off of. Like I wouldn't have found the one if it wasn't for the other. So I think that would be a really fun thing to talk about in the next episode to be like, okay, so these are the people that inspired me to do what I do. These are my inspirations, and I want because it's cool because I wonder if there's other people who are in the similar boat as me or who are at the point now where they're watching these people or people similar to them where it's like, okay, these are my inspirations. Here's how I got here. I want to see who you guys are inspired by and how you got here. And also, it could be really cool to show off tons of YouTubers that I used to watch years ago, which I've been forgotten, or underrated ones I see nowadays and stuff like that. So I think it's a good chance to just share and describe and release tons of cool things. I guess half of those verbs didn't really make sense in that context, but oh well. We got time to waste. I got a few more minutes on this episode before we end it. Okay, now we gotta be careful. We are being very, very dangerous. You know, we got some huge caves down here. That diamond? I swear it's all blue. We're to actually make an iron pickaxe because we're gonna actually be able to use it. This is exciting. Okay, there's probably yep. I knew it. I knew it. I'm good at this game. See, you can't stop me. Can't stop me, game. Oh my. Yeah, there's tons of lava. We are definitely getting really low in this one. So we definitely are gonna have a caving episode soon. Problem is, I want to get some house progress. Like I said last time, my goal, I kind of want to move into the house by 1.2, so then that we can go to the nether and we can do a couple cool things and have, somewhat of a base figured out for the series. Because right now, I mean, like, we're in the very early stages. The nice thing about this is I am in no rush because I got a couple years to play this before we even get a bed. So I think that's also the crazy thing is the fact I know that I gotta not sleep at night for a very long time. It makes this series just unique and different because it doesn't have it has an end. It has a finite end, but realistically, it doesn't. Because let's just say for a fact, this is 15 years. I release one episode every day for 15 years. That is, we'll do some quick back of the napkin math. That's 45. That's 4,500 episodes. Probably plus another 3 or so thousand because I only added the 300 and you got to add the 64 in. That's probably close to 6,000 episodes of this series that there would be. That is that's just insane. That's a lot of episodes and videos to make. And if let's say you make that many of them, you can have just very minimal progress in each of them, and it won't be that big of a deal. I went the wrong way again. You can have very minimal progress in them. You don't have to worry about, getting tons done. This isn't a what's his name? It's like Brock something or Rock or something. He makes like crazy episodes where he does so much progress in one episode where he'll do like 3 months of work, put it into like a 20-minute episode, and they're really cool to watch. But the problem is, in retrospect, you're not gonna be able to do that. Like, if I did that, if I spent a month on an episode, I'd be like, okay, guys, or anyway, this was beta 1.1, and then I'll be like, okay, so now we're in version 1.0, and you're like, wait a second, where did all this time go? It's like, oh, sorry, I was working on a big project, and it's like that completely takes the charm away from this. Like, I could spend a full day making an episode, and it would be more entertaining, probably, and also have a lot more progress. But then you wouldn't see the Naviance, you wouldn't see the little things and the stuff that I have went through to get to this point. And as you see, I was started wandering again, which I am very prone to do when I just play Minecraft. So that's one thing I definitely want to work on, is the fact that I just like running around in circles and like, okay, let's do this. And then I start talking or I start looking at my build and I just don't get a lot done. I just start thinking on the build and stuff like that. But as we're talking, I guess I could clear out these chests a little bit, and I'll move all of the dirt and cobble, which we are collecting boatloads of at this point, over here, and then leave everything else in the other chest to at least pseudo make our organization a lot better for here. You can probably hear my clicking, and that's one thing that I did realize going back is that my mouse, I've had this mouse for probably 7 or 8 years, and I got it with my first crappy laptop, and for some reason, I just love the feel of this mouse. It doesn't work half the time. The batteries die all the time in it. They randomly turn off. I have to flip it back on. That's a huge pain. But for some reason, it's just comfortable to me. And so, out of all my computers, it has somehow just moved up with me every single time. So I think it's really funny how I have this whole janky setup, and then, this really crappy mouse from 7 years ago, which is just still sticking around and living with me. But I think that's kind of funny. So I think I'm going to run up here, and I think we're going to end it up in the shack as we do. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was definitely more filler than anything, which is really bad because the last episode was also filler, but I had a fun story to tell. So I don't regret it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Next episode, we will be working on the base. I spent probably 5 to 10 minutes planting torches out there. So next time we should be good, as I don't think we'll have. Oh, it's day now. Look at that. We talked so long that the next day ended up looping around, and it's just rising. So when I take the next episode on, we're going to immediately get to work. As you see, tons of torches everywhere now for spawning. So yeah, next episode, we're going to get right away working on the roof to the downstairs area, and then we can start moving in, hopefully. So that's all for me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Crap, I missed the button. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into another episode. This should be episode 5, and as we are starting off right after last episode, it is about midday, and I'm trying to get some... Oh, I'm sorry, pig. I don't want to kill him, I feel bad. After last episode, we're trying to get some wood and immediately get into some base stuff, because I want to get the roof done, at least of this bottom layer, shortly. Since these leaves decay weird, I'm gonna burn some of them down. Only fair. Okay, we good? Nothing crazy there to worry about, luckily. Ignore my volume turning down. You didn't see anything. But yeah, welcome back into today's episode. We got some fun things planned. If you saw last episode, I alluded to what my random topic I was going to be chatting on today was. So we're definitely going to be branching off upon that and talking, as this is one of the first ideas I actually had written down to talk about on here. So, super excited for that. Oh crap, don't burn yourself. I kind of don't want this to spread to this tree. I will be breaking stuff, because this could easily spread. Okay. Should be fine. That's more than enough block gap to not worry about it burning, but I still don't want to risk anything because I don't want to burn this house down that I literally just built. Or this would be a really sad episode. The episode title compared to what it was last time. So, but yeah, so the plan is to at least get a roof on here so we can start moving some stuff in. I think I'm gonna go one higher on this. I was debating on what I do, but since we do got the layer that goes up slightly, I think the roof layer makes more sense here. That's where we're gonna start off today with this, and as we hurry up and try to get as much progress before night, because that's what our big bottleneck has been at this point, is night hits and we can't do too much. And luckily, if you saw last episode, what we did was we planted all of these torches around here. I just talked and planted tons of torches and went mining and some other little things. So it was, again, another just try to get some progress done in the early game. So that's really what last episode was about. I think we'll have enough for this layer, but then I will have to go again to get even more wood for the roof. Forgot how much wood we actually had on this roof. And so I just went and uploaded episode 4, and I talked about how it was going to come out Monday. I went and uploaded it Monday, and I fell asleep. So I didn't get to post it till early Tuesday morning, so I was just barely off. So that means that we went about 3 or so days without a main upload, which is really weird over the weekend. So hopefully we don't do that too much more. I'll try not to, at least. I am going to mine up here and get these, because they're really ugly to look at in the background. Also, you know, every piece of wood helps at this point with how much we're needing, so. The problem is, the tools break so quickly. I know I talked about this, I touched upon it an episode or two ago, but the stone pickaxes, they break so soon, it's like, I can't mine too much, so I definitely think the next logical step is us to move to stone, and last time we were caving, we actually found gold and redstone ore, but I haven't made an iron pickaxe yet, so we had to actually end up waiting on that. So I think next episode we'll head back down into the mines, and we will take care of that. I also need to just stop mining leaves with my axe, because it just kills the durability on it. I think it'll just save me slightly by not doing that. I want to do a quick time check. We are looking at midday. We are sitting in a good spot. This is a bit of a hurry up. This is just a let's get this done. So I was thinking about what I want to do with the old shack, because we're not going to need it anymore after we get the main house built. And it's like, I was going back and forth between if I want to demolish it or if I want to keep it as like a landmark, or maybe I should build my house a little farther away. But I think I'm going to keep it. That is what I am at least leaning towards at the moment. If you guys have any ideas, do comment down below what you think we should do. But it's just far enough away where I mean, I'm trying to think. It's just here. So you come out here and you got this little... It's just ugly is the problem. It just doesn't look good. Only, you know, we would have built this thing, like, farther along that way, so we wouldn't have to worry about it. But, you know, we got plans for a train station over there, and this whole lane to be developed, so... There's stuff that I want to do with this. I'm not shifting the houses or anything. If anything, I would move that, but... That kind of takes away from it. If I was like, oh yeah, this was my house, but, you know, I moved it 1,000 blocks. It's like, oh. So it's not your original house? So it's like, it's strange. Luckily, we do got torches, because I think we saw some extra torches. Oh, no. Had extra torches. Luckily, since we went mining again, I replenished all the torches that I used the last episode. Stupid. I replenished all the coal that I ended up using last episode, because I used tons of it. Because I went through, I placed about 2 stacks of torches around the area, which hopefully should help us in the long run with mob spawning and stuff, so we can be out here a little bit more. I will obviously need to keep going at it to allow for even more area for us to be allowed to cover without needing to worry about them. Because I don't think mobs spawn in caves, because I've yet to find one in a cave. So it makes me wonder if they're even available, if they're even, like, able to spawn down there yet, which could have been a thing in later versions. Oh, wait, you can save items there? I forgot about that. So we do got a few extra inventory spaces. That's cool. We tried, we got close. We almost got this done. Okay. So I guess that's gonna be it. I was gonna go mining next episode, but since we're already here, I guess we can make an iron pickaxe. I have not done that yet, and also, as you see, we got tons of this. But now that we actually have coal, we can, and not worry about it being so limited, we can smelt some. Okay, this is exciting. I wasn't expecting to move up in the world like this. Oh, it's a baby pickaxe. Here we go. Look at us. Okay. Take a little bit extra food. But I think that's all we need. Let's go on down. So if you didn't see where I ended up finding the cave, as you know, we have this way going down, which I talked about a while ago where I found the first cave. Well, I just ended up going down this way. And we didn't even get that far. We got literally to here, and I ran into a big cave, and this is where we started exploring. And I just kept going down, and ended up finding cave pretty quickly. Here's the gold that we ended up finding, so we can... Oh, that's what I did. I placed a torch. No, I didn't. Wait. Ominous. I didn't like that. Some of the cave noises. Now we need to get our way down to the redstone. If I can remember correctly, it was going down this. Yep, we gotta be very careful. There is so much. Oh, crap. Water does not break your fall. But there is obsidian in the game. Does it still produce light this far back in the day? No, it doesn't. There it is. That's funny too, because this is like a type of myth busting for me, because it's like, oh, that just scared the crap out of me. I'm so glad the water was there. But you know, this is like a type of myth busting for me, where I'm able. Uh-oh, I heard a mob. Need to be alert, actually. Or like, I can test old Minecraft things, which never come to me until, you know, you're just playing the old Minecraft versions. You're like, oh, wait, is that a thing that you can do? And then it's pretty easy to test it, which is pretty neat. So I did not expect this to end up being a caving thing. I really was expecting to push that to next episode, but kind of just spawned upon us. Big thing now is to find diamonds is really the thing I want to do. That skeleton. Here's some crap. I heard something. I think it's just gold. I'm being quiet here. Man, this redstone takes forever to mine. I don't even know if we're gonna do anything with redstone yet. Honestly, that's what I'm trying to think of. And I guess minecarts, but I don't think we need redstone. We need redstone yet for them. It's just iron's gonna be the big thing we need for minecarts. I'll have to go mining for lots of redstone. But I guess since we're down here, we can start talking on the topic. As you know, I'm really good at starting on the topics really late into the episode. I feel like you either open up with it as we do our grinding, or let's not have so much dead quiet in the middle of it. Which, hey, I'll get better at. These videos are at least better than the first few. The first ones were a little rough. I'm surprised that's where people even started watching these. But, you know, let's not dwindle on the past. If you're not disappointed in your first episodes, then that means you haven't improved or you're not happy about your stuff. So I'd rather just make stuff because I've always been afraid to just make things that suck. I'd rather just make something that sucks, learn upon it, and make more than just dwindle on the fact that I made something that sucks and never post it. If that makes any sense. So I gotta get better upon it. Also, we gotta get back somehow. It's something I'm just thinking of. We're gonna have to do that. But, so, anyway, we talked about last episode, and what the title will end up spoiling anyway is that this series ends up coming from 4 different YouTubers that I have ended up watching over my years around the platform and stuff, because at least the Gmail that I use to still watch YouTube on today, I made that one back in 2016. So that is 9 years ago now, which is really weird because I'm still at the point where I'll look at something from 2016 like, oh, that was 8 years ago. But we're almost on 2025 at this point, and I'm like, oh crap, that was not 8 years ago. That was 9. We're about to be pushing 10, and it's just making me feel old, which is weird because I'm always the young one. I've always been the one who has been the youngest around others and stuff. So it always catches me off guard when I'm becoming the old one, which I'll have to slowly get used to, especially in this too, because I guarantee a lot of people here are going to be younger than me when it comes to this, because, I mean, one of the examples I use, listening back to stuff, he was 22, which we will loop a background into. But, so, as you've heard a few times, I've mentioned him multiple times, almost every episode too. We should be getting a counter at this point, but my original YouTube Minecraft that I watched was Stampy. And if you have never heard of him, or I've never explained, he had a lovely world where he basically played on Xbox 360. He just made a world and he played in it, and he made tons of episodes. And he just played in the world and had lots of fun. Uh-oh. Mob alert. I'm guessing it might be day now. But yeah, he just made a world, played in it, did tons of fun stuff, and he just had fun with the game, and he just went with it as it went through the versions. And that's where my first big inspiration ended up coming from, was watching him and his world. It made me want to have that forever world and that opportunity to have something that's mine and watch it grow and not worry about it. Because he didn't try to make things that look pretty or were perfect. He just had fun with it, and he didn't care. Some of the stuff doesn't look good. I mean, literally his huge base where he did everything with, it doesn't look the best, but it doesn't matter because it's iconic now, and he just had fun with it in the moment. And that's something I want to do, because I've touched upon this in the past before too, but I'm not a good builder, and with the modern state of YouTube and how everything is about bigger, better, and needing to have just the most elegant things, it just is really demoralizing to people who just aren't good at building or only see what other YouTubers do and they're not able to do it. If that makes any sense to you. It's like I want to be able to play and do stuff, but I keep holding myself to the standards of all these people that I watch online, and it's like I'll never be able to do that, or I'm not good enough, and I don't want to be stuck like that anymore. I want to be able to go on my own and make something super cool and be happy about it without comparing to others. So that's one really big thing that that I want to do with this series. Like, for example, the house out there doesn't look good. First of all, we're in alpha, so it's not going to look good. And second of all, I don't care. I'm here to have fun. I'm going to build things that are fun, helping the story, and stuff like that. So, Stampy was really my huge inspiration when it came to all this stuff. And he made me the person I am through the lens of Minecraft and, like, how I want to be treated by others. Like, if I could somehow leave or do something similar to he did, where people down the line are like, oh my gosh, I used to watch videos when I was little. That would be amazing. That would be the dream. But realistically, you know, oh, crap, I just killed multiple. Realistically, that's not going to end up happening, as this is just some random Minecraft alpha world with my crappy microphone and my clicky mouse you can probably hear. So, but hey, it's progress. I'll buy a new mouse eventually, okay? If we hit, I don't know, I'll make a sub milestone, and if we hit that, I will buy a less clicky mouse. But then also, this leaves a weird thing is where when you have something crappy, people get nostalgia for the crappiness. Like, for example, I was on break at work yesterday, and I went to click on a Stampy video to see if, like, how I was talking felt different from the way he was doing it. And, you know, he clicked on he's just all monotone. He's so much quieter than he is now. And personally, I love I don't know why that part of him resonates more with me than his high-pitched acting and all that kind of stuff. But I really enjoyed seeing that and watching it. It gives you that, it just gives you that feel of nostalgia and a feeling of, I guess, like, comfort would be the way I want to describe it as, because this is supposed to be a really cozy world, a cozy experience, an opportunity for me to do a lot and say a lot, basically. Because as we've said before, as I've been repeating myself, if you haven't watched other episodes, it'll be useful, because the first few suck, and I'm gonna not be blunt or anything. Like, I had editing issues, I forgot to record my freaking screen one of the times. It's just all kinds of stuff, and it's kind of funny. But I want this to be like a type of podcast, time capsule, stuff like that, which will revolve with other people I want to talk about later on. But yeah, Stampy was the original one that I watched. I didn't watch him back in 2016. It was way sooner than that. Probably 2012 to 2014-ish is probably when I started watching him. I don't remember the first Lovely World video I watched of him. I remember one of the first actual videos I watched of him. It was him on a cruise ship. It was him touring a cruise ship. It's a really popular video now, but for some reason that thumbnail always sticks in my head as like, okay, that's like the first one I ended up watching of him. But yeah, Stampy ends up leading into the next guy I want to talk about too. And so, or the next guys I want to talk about, because this is a duo, and the reason I watch them is because of Stampy. Oh, can they not go sideways? Uh-oh. I thought I would have been able... Oh, crap. I guess we'll have to put them long ways. That's fine. Or ignore that. That caught me off guard. Oh, you can also mine through stairs to break the blocks under it. I also did not know that. You learn more every day. But, basically, when I was in my big Stampy mania, I would always watch tons of stuff, and this one channel, which I had never heard of, actually ended up doing a video with him, where they had to come on and they had him do trivia. And you might be wondering what this channel is. Maybe if you have some guesses, if you've been around the YouTube game for a while, it was Good Mythical Morning. They were the next one, which had a pretty big impact on me, and I still watch them to this day. And it's really cool because, you know, I started watching them, I think it was season 7 or season 8 of it, where basically it had the more nostalgia look, where, like, I enjoy that old GMM where they would talk about more conspiracies and they would not go for the elegance and the crazy kind of flashiness they kind of have today, where, kind of for example, if you ever watched their Will It episodes before, what those are is they just take items and they see if it'll work as a taco or as a burrito. The problem is the newer ones, they get so elegant and they get so far away from where they started, it makes me not really want to watch them. in a way, because what's let's see. Well, I'm trying to think of a better way to word it. It just like it takes the simplicity out of it from when I was a child. I think it could be the nostalgia of like, for example, for the taco, they just put like grass in it, and it just yeah, okay. Well, see, does it work? No, obviously it's grass. It's not gonna work. Or they'd use like congealed blood or mess up stuff like that. And then nowadays they're like, oh, here we go. We took an entire Wendy's menu, we blended it, and we put it into which a lot of it is they just like, oh, we blended it or we dehydrated it, and that's just where they leave it at, and they don't do tons. So I kind of actually haven't watched a Will episode in years because of that moment. Obviously, there's still other series that they do to this day which are great, and some of the stupid shenanigans they get up to are amazing. Another thing I love about it is how they've kind of grown up with me. When I started watching, they were more kid friendly. They didn't do tons of crazy stuff. But as I've gotten older, they got more on. Oh my god, is it directional? It's like as I've gotten older, they've gotten more older, and they've like shifted their demographic. So it's like I almost grew up with them in a way, which I think is actually pretty cool how that is. It's like okay, well when I was little, they didn't make dumb jokes or not dumb jokes. They didn't make like more edgy jokes or um. Crap, I completely lost the idea there. Like, or they didn't reference like other types of I didn't want to say. I'm just trying to think of a way not to say the word. They didn't obscene not jesters, but like obscene like jokes and gestures and stuff like that. Sorry, no, that completely took me a second to get there. It's like they didn't do that. They more or less just had it more. Oh my god, we're gonna try this thing as blood, or oh my god, it's a testicle, or something random like that. Where I mean, there was that bitness, but like they didn't commit to it. They didn't bleep things. They weren't more vulgar, and it's just interesting is how I've gotten older, they got older, and they got more comfortable with the actual situation of it, where they followed along. We followed along in each other's footsteps. Almost, I feel like as I got older and known the world, they also got older and did that kind of stuff. So they were another huge inspiration of mine, and they are the longest watched. They're the longest watched I have. They're not the most consistent because, like, obviously it comes in batches at this point where, like, I'll be on YouTube and I'll be like, oh man, I forgot about them. And then, go on and watch some videos. The YouTube algorithm is it'll keep giving me more, and then I keep watching, and I'm like, okay, I gotta watch new episodes, and then I get lost again. And it happens all the time because you gotta think about it. They've been doing Good Mythical Morning for a very long time. It has been a lot of years they have been running this ship. The amount of fans that have come in and out are going to be tons. There's not many people who every day for the last 15 years have been like, you know what, let's watch Good Mythical Morning every Monday through Tuesday. Or Monday through Friday. There is the amount of people that have done that. It's just that relatively to just time, you burn out, you'll become a dead subscriber, and you'll have stuff like that where it's not too likely that you have a lot of people that are that much turnover. When there is a couple, it's just most of them are going to be in the spot I am, where it's either they either forget about them or they just every once in a while it pops up on YouTube and you're like, oh my gosh, I used to love these guys, and I should have grabbed the dirt when I would get there. And they're like, oh my god, I love these guys, or it's just, oh man, I haven't watched them forever, I want to watch it again, and so you do that. And I feel like where they come in and where they help my inspiration is the way that they expanded their media empire. Super cool. The way that it went from two guys sitting in a desk to the birth of Mythical Entertainment and all the side channels and all the extra stuff they got from it. I think it's super cool, and I think it's really impressive the way that they took a little internet show and they birthed it into so much more that you would have never expected from them. I find it super cool and super inspirational as a way to like build yourself and be like, okay, you want to do stuff on YouTube? Here's ways you can. And it's like, okay, I'll give it a try. Let me see what I can do. So it's very neat, very, very inspirational, and it's one really big thing. And so those two were mutually exclusive. Stampy got me into GMM because he went on to GMM. And so it's really weird to think, like, I wonder if I would have ever watched them, because I spent so much time especially around lockdown, around 2020, watching them. It was years into me watching them, but I remember I would always binge the new episodes, and I would binge tons of the old ones. I would watch some episodes probably 4 or 5 times, honestly, within a few months, and I could remember them really well, and I would still enjoy them. And that's a good thing with it. They have so many episodes that they could start reposting stuff, and people would have no idea because they've just been doing it for so long, and they have so many different episodes of it. Which is kind of funny, because if you get to the point where you can just start reposting stuff and no one has any ideas, then I think you've done a great job in making content, or just even longevity could be another way of it, where it's like, wow, it's really cool. But that leads into the first 2 people that I had for that. Guess we're gonna have to call it night again. Yay! So the third person who I ended up watching, he has done 2 different things that have really inspired me. And one where I want to take a direction of this once we start getting viewers and followers into here, and another one where I probably will not be touching it much. It was back when I was a freshman in high school. So this is going back to 2019, 2019, probably the summer of it, before getting actually into the school year. I discovered this new upcoming Minecraft YouTuber. He was on SMP Live. If you know anything about that, you know that was a big part of the resurgence with Minecraft coming back. You gotta think that was back when Revenge started getting back into the spotlight with Captain Sparkles, and SB Live was in full swing. You had Ant Venom. You had tons of just names. Those are Captain Sparkles and Ant Venom were 2 people I also did watch a lot. I used to watch Ant Venom when he would do when he did the 1.14 snapshot reviews. That's how I learned about the updates, because that's back before I had a PC or I could do snapshots or anything. I would literally watch his videos every week as he would introduce the new things, and I wonder how delayed the stuff was. I've never really thought about it. That's just the way that I watched it. And then Captain Sparkles, he's also a huge mainstay. I've watched him for many years, and I'll still on and off watch him because he's just one of those special people who are still in the game and just done tons of amazing stuff for Minecraft. So 2 honorable mentions of those 2. Definitely Captain Sparkles I watched more than I watched Ant Venom, but I did watch both of them a good amount. That is not the right. So anyway, the YouTuber I'm mentioning, he did actually do a video with Ant Venom where he went and killed the Ender Dragon. If that wasn't enough hits for you, the YouTuber I'm talking about is JSchlatt, and he is very polarizing to a lot of people because he is much more edgy, he's much more vulgar, he yells. He was a completely different type to the people I watched before that. And it might have been, you know, rebellious teenage years. It might have been where I grew up, how I grew up, little things like that, where it was vastly different from most YouTubers I watch. Obviously, you know, there's also Sky Does Minecraft, who also did stuff with Ant Venom. So, I mean, everything just loops back to those people. Because all those old YouTubers. But really, he was the first one who was really like that. And sorry, be quiet. Yeah, I don't know. I don't trust these caves anymore. My guess is it's only during the daytime they spawn down here, but I'm not fully sure. But yeah, he is probably the longest guy who I have watched would be JSchlatt. I have been watching him since 2019 consistently, so that's just over 6 years at this point now, which is kind of crazy, and like to watch his growth is something astronomical. And the big thing isn't going to be him wanting to not to replicate what he does, it's to altercate stuff he does on the side. And the biggest, he has a side channel where he did this, where my inspiration for this kind of wanes from. It is the Weekly Slap. And if you've never heard of this, basically what the Weekly Slap was is he would go back to the old COD days of like 2010. So around the time that I am setting this world in, and he would be like C-nanners and stuff like that, where they would just play Call of Duty and just talk. And he answers questions, he talks in a soft tone, instead of his crazy antics of screaming, he talks quietly, he helps his viewers through questions, like through school, through relationships, through all kinds of stuff. And there's something just so calming about that. If you're not having a good time, if you're sad, just watching him and him just being genuine and him just doing so much for it and helping. That genuineness is seriously a huge part of this, and that's one thing I wanted to replicate with this. I would love to just help people answer questions and be like, it's gonna be okay as I sit through this Minecraft world and I play. That would be the dream. That would be a super cool thing to do. And that's where my J-Schlatt inspiration comes from. Obviously, you know, I've watched him. I know his crazy antics. I'm not going to be doing stuff that he does. I won't be screaming, saying questionable things. Nothing like that. But I'm going to be taking his weekly slap, as that did really mold me into wanting to do something similar, as he was inspired by his people like Sark and Sea Andrews. So it's just the way it comes full circle, because he has a podcast, and that's another reason for the podcast thing, which I will get into for the last guy who actually will bounce off J-Schlatt. It's like, it's like on his podcast, on one of the final episodes, he got to actually bring on Sark, which was his base inspiration, and where all of his comedy came from. Jokes he stole, stuff he did, was literally one-to-one rip-offs from him, and he took some guy who has been forgotten to Machinima Respawns, to bringing it back to millions upon millions of people. That was really cool, and something that I would love to be able to like meet my heroes one day. Not just meet them, as I said, leave an impact onto them. That leave an impact on others the way that he left an impact on them. And so I think that's where I'm going to end J-Schlatt. That's number 4 on here. Number 5 for me, number 3, on number 4 is going to bounce off of J-Schlatt, because I wouldn't have discovered him if it wasn't for J-Schlatt. So as I said, I was watching his podcast, which he used to do with a few friends, which are a lot bigger now. It's Ted Nivison and Slime Sickle Charlie, as Charlie's been growing as he's been doing all kinds of crazy other stuff, and then Ted's just doing his own thing with his one friend, as he typically does. And I was watching the podcast, and there's always this one episode I would go back to. It was episode like 18, and they bring on this guest. His name's Matt Watson, and I don't know why, but like I would watch this episode and I would seriously just enjoy it. And I don't know, there's something funny about it. The way that the jokes he made, the crazy things he would say, it just made me laugh, and it made me really, really enjoy it for some reason. And I was like, okay, I like this guy. So I've looked into what he did. Nothing was cool. And so then he ended up coming on the podcast again with Ryan, which is the guy he has a channel with. So they came on again, and I enjoyed this episode too. This one was really funny. The whole bit was that all they did was just gaslight and lie to everybody, so you didn't know what was true. And then this episode became really. I enjoyed this one. I went back and watched it. I'd listen to it when I was working and stuff. I would be stocking seasonal Christmas candy, and I'd be like, I need something to laugh at, and I'd throw it on, and I'd literally just be sitting there smiling, trying to hide the fact I even had anybody in. And it was just no. They just had great chemistry, and it made it really funny. So then I ended up listening to it again, like I said I did. And I said, you know what, I want to actually look into them. So I ended up looking at their channel and giving it a better shot than what I was doing. And as I did that, I was like, wait, this is really cool. And I realized they had a podcast. And I started listening to their podcast. And I enjoyed the crazy antics, all the wild stuff. It was way more chill. It was way more relaxed. They just talked and they did things. So whenever I get into something or I enjoy it, I like looking at the history. I like seeing what's next. I like getting an idea. Like if I find a game, I love seeing what's gonna happen next with it. Like when I got into Terraria and stuff like that, it's like I went to look at, okay, what's the next update? Oh, there's mods. Okay, cool. When's the next Calamity update? I like looking into the stuff and just learning more about it. I don't know. Maybe that's just the person I am, or the fact that I like new things, or like seeing what's next. But I would always do that. And so I went to do that to them. I went to look back at, well, what they did in the past. And I realized that they have been doing their podcast for a very, very long time. It stretches back to 2016 when they first started their YouTube channel. I was like, oh wow, this is really cool. Having a YouTube channel that goes that far back is really neat, and it can capsule history, which, if you're seeing things I'm saying, stuff is starting to connect, some neurons should be firing, inspiration should be being found. Well, I ended up going back, and I was listening to their original stuff, and it's like, well, so the original episodes are back in 2016, talk about Pokemon Go just coming out, the 2016 crazy election, all kinds of wild stuff, and it's like a time capsule, and they're talking in the old monotone YouTube voice. They're not yelling. It's all calm and peaceful. It's like, oh wow. It's like I love this. And I was just recently listening. I went back. I haven't listened to podcasts at work much recently, but then I was like, you know what? I want to listen to a podcast again. And so I was re-listening, and I was literally driving back to work from lunch, and I listening to them talk about old times, and I hear Matt. He's talking about. He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I'm 20. I'm, he's like, I'm still young in life. Because they were talking about a thing. I think they want to have kids or like what their plan for life was. And he's like, I'm 20. He's like, I still got so much life ahead of me. He's like, I got things to not worry about. He's like, I just want to get this YouTube built out, and it just resonated with me a lot because, well, I'm 20. I am sitting at the same age he was in 2016, listening to him in the present day. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, so this is really cool hearing stuff that from some guy at my age, what he did in 2016 that I could do now. And then this is when I had the idea for this Minecraft thing pop in. And two things clicked, and I said, that's it. I want to do this. This is going to be like a podcast. And it was because of Jay Schlatt having me watch it, finding Matt, and then finding Super Mega is the biggest inspiration for this. So those are the inspirations. Those are the things that I'm doing this for. That is why. That is how. That is everything with it. Those are the 4 building blocks that are going to make this series happen, make it work, be the engine to this. I'm going to be taking all of those people, I'm going to be mushing them into something that I grew up with, something, I'm not going to say proud yet, because this is in its infancy, this is a young thing, this is, this is just me playing Minecraft. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my god, this is going to change the world, when realistically, I could fade out within 3 weeks and I get to episode 12. Okay, I'm so sorry. I had a cut randomly in that, so I don't remember what I was saying because I had to go do something, but I think this is a great spot to end the episode. Next episode, we'll head back up and we'll get some more mining done, but those were the YouTubers who inspired me and who is going to shape this series. So if any of you have watched them or never have, I recommend checking them out, as they all did wonderful things for me as a child and as I got a little older, and they also will be seen through this as their inspiration is going to be what drives me. That's all I have for this episode. This is looking like a longer one if I do not trim too much of it, but I will see you guys next time. Bye! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into another episode. This is episode 6 of this. This one will be a little bit different, as this one's going to be pure voiceover, but don't worry, there's no issue with the footage or anything. You have the actual footage of me, and I will talk a little bit over it as we're going. Today, as I'm recording this, it is Halloween Eve, so that means we only have one more episode out before we actually get into what we're doing, which is fairly exciting. I'm going to mute my overall sounds. I forgot to do that before that. Hopefully that doesn't mess with anything too much on it. But with Halloween right around the corner and one final video after this before we update into 1.2 of Alpha, leaving us in a very interesting spot. So my idea for this was a little bit more Halloween themed, more something like that, as over the weekend, last weekend I should say, I ended up going to a work party for Halloween, and I ended up having to watch the original Halloween movie for the first time. I'm not a big person into horror or into movies in general. I honestly don't watch too much of them at all. I consume mostly YouTube, and I watch sports, and that's basically where all my online entertainment goes to, is into those two fields. And we went in to watch this movie, and after getting done with the movie, I think it sucks. I think it's one of the worst movies I have ever seen. Well, I know that it was a different time. It's from the late 70s. Vibes were different. It pioneered all the horror movies. I get that. But it was really bad. Like, the pacing was horrible. There was not much scariness. I'm not gonna like use its predictability against it because it made the tropes, so there's no getting mad at it for being predictable when it is the reason things are predictable now. So it's not gonna get knocked there. It's gonna be grandfathered in on all that. But I seriously didn't understand why it was very, very much worse than what it was. I watched the first Jason movie, and that one it wasn't good, but it was much better than this one. And there's a lot of other little things. Like it gave me the feeling of when like you see people make indie films, and then the whole point of it is that there's not much talking, and it's like one fixed camera point, and not much happens on it. That's what this felt like to me, where there was really long drawn out scenes of nothing happening and very confusing plot. Another part of it is all the women characters in it looked very similar to it on my part. Maybe it was me half paying attention to it. Maybe it was me not really being into the movie, but like I didn't know any characters' names beside I think the little boy and the little girl, and that was it. And besides, I knew nothing. And so when character spoiler get killed in the Halloween horror movie, I wasn't sure which ones were which and which ones were important to the main cast. And I was like, oh, there goes another one, and stuff like that. Another point to it compared to the Jason, I think it's Friday the 13th, what those movies are. Those ones were much more censored than this movie. I did not expect a movie from the late 70s like this to show as much as it did on of the characters, which was a little unexpected for me, right? Because right at the beginning shot of it, they show something, and then towards the end of it, they show more, and I was like not fully expecting nudity in a movie like this. Obviously, that's just what they did in those old horror movies, but typically, it was they allude to it, they don't show it, but like they actually showing it is what caught me off guard slightly because I figured, still then was a no-no to do that type of stuff in Hollywood and all that. Another good point, I actually ended up looking up some Reddit things that some other people thought about it. The woman character, she was very stupid. Like there's multiple times where like, she not even like, "Oh, in hindsight," it's like, no, she literally, like, would be sitting next to the killer and just stop and look the other way and just lay there so he could get up and stab her. Like, generally stupid ideas. Like, she should have been killed off for natural selection at this rate. Like, she should not be alive. I don't understand why we're rooting for her when she's gonna kill those children she was watching. Like, I don't really get what the point of that was. And I guess also going into having an idea of how the character works also did really help with me understand certain things like the him not being able to die, the thing with the knives, little things like that. Obviously, I'm assuming the next installments of the Halloween movie are a lot better, but at least in my regard, this first one makes me not want to watch the rest of them. I know that they recently did one in like 2018. They like redid it, and a lot of people were basing it off of that one, saying it was much quicker paced and better. But I don't even want to watch it because there's a lot of really strange things. And another scene was they randomly went to a school and they watched one of the little boys, and then that was it. It did not. They went nowhere else from there. Like they went up to him like he was gonna go steal him or something, and then it just cut away to the next thing. Like it felt like it was an incomplete scene, and they didn't have an idea for it. It was it was very weird. It was very strange, and I really don't know what they were going for in this movie. It was definitely I don't even want to say it was pioneering because I mean it was, but I don't know, maybe I'm just being a hater here, but the movie generally was very, very bad. The only good parts of the movie was at least Michael. That's his name. I couldn't think. It's Michael Myers. Michael was at least good. He was mysterious. You didn't know what was happening with him, and other little things like that. So that is the one thing that is the good thing about it. Or I guess also if you do like less actiony, less scary movies, it's a great one for you because I'm not a big horror fan. I don't like jump scares because I mean they get me really easily, and I can easily I flinch at a lot of things or can get easily jumped. So it's obviously not a bigger one down my alley because I don't watch horror or movies, so it was not aligning to me on multiple parts. But it's still, yeah, I don't know. I don't know where else I want to go off of that, but I was thinking about it and I wrote that down on my cardboard. So as you guys know, I have a piece of cardboard where I've been writing down my ideas and things I had planned for this. And literally one of them is why the first Halloween movie sucks. And this was before I even looked online into it to see that people had the general consensus about it. So it does make me feel a little bit better that I'm not crazy and this movie does actually suck. Yeah, but on the Halloween note, it's another fun, exciting year coming out as we got, you know, the day upon us, and hopefully in our world we'll go find some pumpkins tomorrow. And I don't know if they have carved pumpkins or not. I don't remember what you can do for. I think there's jack o' lantern. Wait, okay, no, I was thinking all back. Pumpkins are always carved. That was like 5 or 6 years ago that they decided to make them. You have to carve the pumpkins. So the pumpkins are going to be carved. So we can make jack o' lanterns. So we may end up putting one outside the house or something like that. But that is going to be a future me problem that I'm going to try to figure out. So I'm more than fine with doing that, honestly. So should be interesting on that regard. So I guess I'll talk a little bit about the gameplay, what's going on as you were seeing. First thing was I was not a big fan of like looking at the roof and like looking how similar it was upstairs. So I said, fine, you know what? I'll bite the bullet. I'm gonna flip everything. So we flipped the upstairs down to wood, and then we also are gonna flip the stairs from stone into wood, just to give a better contrast and to get the thing a little better. Side note, stairs are so slow at breaking. Like it's so painfully slow to break them. I don't understand why in the world they were so slow. And the fact that they dropped just cobblestone, like, give me the stair back. Now I have to spend 6 more to get. And it's just a whole thing. I don't want to go down there and ramble about it, but it was a whole different side thing that I didn't really want to get involved into and have to deal with. Sorry, I'm out of breath there. I was hardcore rambling for about 9 minutes, and looking at this, we got another 16 minutes we gotta fill out with content. So I guess I'll spring more towards the channel side and stuff like that. I just released episode 5 last night, and I mean it's okay. I mean the problem is the first video ended up doing so well, and if you're watching this, thanks for sticking around because we're about 9 minutes in. This is typically where people end up clicking off besides the last video because it was longer one. We talked about YouTube inspirations, and the runtime was about 40 minutes and the average was 20 off of the I think 7 viewers who saw it. So that's really cool seeing that the people who watched it were at least really interested, because I would rather have lower views of people who really love it than high views of people who click off. Because the problem on the first one was my voice was quiet. I had a good premise, like I have a great idea, but it just wasn't that good. So the 400 or 500 views it got, only like a good 20, 30 of them were like, oh, that's interesting, left a like, commented, or subscribed off of it. So the problem is now we got to kind of restart and rebuild it because I failed on the first episode because like I got the growth, I got the boom. I just wasn't able to make it something people wanted to convert. So my idea is to work on some shorts and stuff to promote this and other little things as the series progresses and we move on upon updates. Another idea is like a recap videos of like all the stuff that we went through and things we did. But the thing is, with it being like not tons of progress each episode and me, walking around trying to figure out what I want to do next, there's not much to show off. So they might have to be done in like eras like, oh, here's what happened in alpha, here's what happened in beta, and stuff like that. Well, the good thing is alpha's going to run till the end of the year. So in December, I think December 20th is when we update to beta 1.0, which will be super exciting because we will slowly be moving on into the next era of Minecraft as we slowly get towards, first of all, food, and then also towards the full release versions, which I think we're still about a year and a half away from that. So, I mean, we got time. We probably got another 200, 300 episodes before we get there. So we won't have to worry too much about it. But, it is a good thing to think about and plan for as we get ready for the future and other little things like that. Oh, I don't know why I'm just standing still. I went through this footage and I cut it, but I guess I didn't cut it well enough. So Now we got some dead space of me standing down here thinking about what's next. Oh, there we go. We're back moving. Don't you worry. It's weird watching this, like trying to think of how my brain was like thinking for it, as I'm like, wait, why did I do that? Because this wasn't too old of footage. I recorded this, I think, 2 days ago. I just didn't get a chance to voice over. I was going to voice over it earlier and have this thing posted sooner today, but my voiceover was a bit delayed, so it's not exactly what I planned on. And then I also did a cool thing for an idea to time lapse the night, as you'll see that I'm gonna do. I was messing within the editor, figuring out how quick to throw it at. I ended up going 7 times speed on it because it was interesting to watch the AIs of the mobs running around and stuff and seeing what they're gonna do. Also, alpha is so bright. Like there's multiple times like when it become daytime, like oh it's day, and then it got brighter, and then it got even brighter. Like the just super bright designs of the grass really have caught me off guard as they are super bright and stuff like that. As you see, we are into the time lapse now. But when the day hits, you'll see what I mean. Because like, you gotta watch by the torches. Because like, if the block around the torch is not lighter, is not as matching the light, then it's gonna get brighter. As you know, like the darkness disappears, but then there's one frame where it gets like this. Watch, and then it gets even brighter. And it caught me off guard multiple times watching the grass, and like, it kind of hurts your eyes looking at it because you're like, geez, why is these textures so bright, and it gives off that old alpha look. The worst thing about this is that we're losing this. We only have like 2 episodes left of this pretty grass, and then we're moving into the darker one as biomes and stuff are about to be introduced, which is first off kind of funny the fact that we were playing before biomes existed. So that'll be interesting. I wonder what the F3 will end up showing for what this biome is. I'm assuming it'll be just like a classic biome or like just plains. I'm assuming data went in to make it reverse back to how it was, but that's not something I'm very confident in, as I've never really moved a world up. Obviously, I've done the thing where you take a world and you just slowly migrate up and you look at the terrain transformation, but it's been many years. I think I did that before 1.16, 1.17. So, terrain changed even more then, which also be a whole nother thing to think about. Oh, audio's back on. Let me cut that. Because I don't know if I want too much audio in the background of this, as it might mess up the mojo we have for this. Because I'm talking a little bit quieter than I typically do, but it's just because I'm recording this later in the day and I didn't get a good chance to do it when I'm louder and more enthusiastic about things. So you know how that goes. But that's all I had for that part. I'm trying to think now off the top of my head. I wasn't trying to make any cuts or anything about this. Okay, yeah. So last episode's, well, actually, let's fight these creepers first. I actually thought I was really impressed by the way that I somehow managed to easily take care of the creepers like that. Because I didn't think that I thought I was doomed because I had 2 of them coming up on me and like they're gonna double explode and all my stuff's gonna disappear. As I've yet to lose any items and only one death, literally in the first episode. Also, I forgot you can't throw chicken eggs. I was like, oh, I might as well chuck the chicken egg, but then it did disappear. I'm like, fine, I'll just toss it in my chest. But somebody last episode, 2 episodes ago, commented that we should make a castle, and I thought that's a cool idea. So I'm gonna mentally jot that down now and have some let you guys know that I read the comment. If I remember, I'll throw it on screen here. So thank you to whoever you were that submitted the comment, and I think we can plan on that because I do have some very basic plans here. You'll see that we are flattening some of the land here to make room over towards the train station, which I have talked about a couple times, and then in the next episode you'll see I talk even more about how the planes want to go with the train station. Right now it was just, oh yeah, I want to put it over here and put a bridge. But then I get some other ideas what I want to do with that flat area down and some other stuff like that. So super, super cool. A lot of big stuff coming down the line in the future as we're gonna keep building and keep expanding. I'm excited for the minecarts, honestly. It'll be a fun way to travel around the world and be able to go through more. And the big thing is just slowly filling the world and just getting stuff done because it's fun to just slowly see your ideas come to life. I think that's why I've always enjoyed this game is because the amount of creativity you get, but then also the freedom and I guess freedom does play hand in hand with creativity, but I guess it'd be more of the ability to watch your own decisions turn into more and have a lot of fun with it, and like I said, the construction aspect of it. So I don't know. Maybe I was, in another life, I was meant to be a construction worker or like a construction developer. But it's always interesting to think about. And so I was looking here at this, and I was like, okay, what do I do for um that slope up? Because I want to keep the original land close to the base as untouched as I can, but it just doesn't look good. So I ended up cutting the hill in half and then editing the terrain slightly. I think I still may end up cutting it in a little bit more, but nothing too insane or crazy on it because I don't really want to go overboard, balls to the walls on it, as one could say, and just keep it simple for now. Another thing is I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with these flowers because I don't think I want to make the flowers go all the way around the path. It might just be like a one-off thing that I'm going to end up doing with it. So that's a big thing. Okay, now you're on screen, you're gonna end up seeing me work on the bridge because we talked about the bridge in the past, and then we actually we'll probably not actually build the full-on bridge for see what episode is it, 6? Probably not into the double digits, maybe 10 or 11. We work on that, and then we start laying the foundation for the station because we got to think of which way we want tracks to run and how far they're gonna run and if I have to do bumping and little things like that, because that's what I'm trying to figure out now is how the power's going to work and how to mess with that stuff. Another side thing I want to do is I want to look into some alpha redstone. See if there's any cool old contraptions. Maybe there's some etho lab videos and stuff like that that will show me how to do things. Because another cool side point of this series, what we could do would be to just bring up old, not even just full on YouTubers, but tutorials and like concepts and stuff that people have easily forgotten about because you don't know what was left back here in this ancient YouTube. Just gotta think about it. Most people who were making content around this time just don't exist anymore. They're not in the game. They're gone. It's kind of sad. There's a music video. It's called Minecraft is Just Awesome. It was a parody of a song similar to it. I forget what the name of the what that song is, but basically it just took like the 30 or 40 YouTubers and they all just sang little parts of the song about why Minecraft was awesome. Like somebody liked killing the Ender Dragon, someone liked playing with redstone, that was Seth Bling, and then there was tons of other ones like killing zombies, building, playing with friends, and the top comment on this music video, it always resonates with me. It takes every single person in that video in order and shows what happened. And 99% of them just quit YouTube or just were never heard of again. And it's really sad to see that because like ancient or this golden age of Minecraft had so many wonderful YouTubers and so much just awesome stuff going on that was just forgotten and lost. Which these are people you can never hear from again. When I was doing research for last video, I was looking at some of Snappy's helpers. I went back and I was looking at it was Choo Choo Gaming. He used to play and he used to be in the videos with him. He was an alien. He was another tall guy. He had a side a Cobblemon series he did with Squid and little things like that. And it's like, oh man, whatever happened to him? And I look into it and it's like, oh, he quit YouTube in 2017 and had barely ever been heard of. So then I'm like, okay, let's do some scouring. I head to Reddit. I look at some threads. I go to look at his Instagram, and before I know it, I have 8 tabs open, and I'm like, oh, why am I looking into some random guy I haven't thought about in like 5 years? And it just shows how YouTubers so quickly just disappear and how new ones will just fill the void as there's just so much content on here that you stop watching one, you find three more that are similar or have their own little niche. Like there's tons of cool stuff. Like like when I mentioned the two Minecraft YouTubers who inspired me, I left out tons. There's tons of amazing ones that I watch. IBX Toy Cat, Log Swamp's a recent one. Popular MMOs was another huge one, but he didn't inspire like my actual like gameplay. He would have been one I talked about in other type of stuff. There's a few other of Snappy's helpers. I'm trying to think of a few other guys, but I can't really remember who else there is. But there just was there's a lot of these people that if I went through and made a list, I'm like, wow, I can't believe that it's been so long and I've forgotten about you, or The fact that you haven't made a video in 8 years. That's one of the saddest things is whenever I find a channel or somebody who made Minecraft content and I go back to look at it and I click and they just don't have it anymore. Oh, I thought of one. Oh, Mumbo. I used to watch Mumbo back when he first joined Hermitcraft or when it was still in its infancy. I love watching Mumbo in, I think is this season 2 or season 3 when he built, when it was, I think it was called Get the Ball Rolling, where he literally just talked in his voice. He talked in his nice monotone voice, as I was saying a lot of YouTubers from this time did, which it just feels really nostalgic. And then he also, another thing that it was, he just softly talking and just building little things. He wasn't crazy. He didn't want crazy content. He wasn't overly loud. He wasn't really like kind of like he is now, where he's just like really self like, oh my gosh, what if this doesn't look good? What if I do this, and that? It was just that he was a little bit more confident in his ability, or like he didn't play into it more, because maybe I think he still did it a little bit back in those days, but he didn't like, trying to think of the way of wording it. He wasn't crazy about, oh, I'm a bad builder, I can't do this. He was just like, I'm just gonna try this, and he's just gonna have fun with it. And he did, and it's really cool watching old Hermitcraft and stuff like that, which is a rather great example because most people back from them then are gone. Like they were old creators. Literally, the only people who are left from there are going to be, let's see. Etho was a Minecraft, so he's not a good example, but it was we got Mumbo, we got X, we have Joe, Tinfoil Chef was, RIP to him. I think he ended up passing like a year and a half ago at this point. And there's only a couple others. So we were, yeah, it's just that most of those people are now just gone and they're no longer in the series. There's another guy that I cannot remember, but he came back in season 6 when I started watching Green on there, and he came on. He was there for like 5 or 6 episodes. He was known as an old guy, and then he just disappeared off the map, and then never did anything. And then Green like claimed his islands and did stuff with them. I cannot for the life of me remember what his name is, but it's people like that who come on Minecraft for a little bit, and then before you know it, they end up just dipping, and that's really it for them. And speaking of it being it for them, I think that's gonna be about it for me. This episode was incoherent. It was me rambling, realizing, oh crap, I got 24 and a half minutes. Let me get something planned. Let me do something interesting, and that's really gonna be it. So I hope you guys did enjoy this. It was definitely different on my end. Next episode is going to be the last one in Alpha 1.1.2_01. Next time will be it. It'll be emotional. We'll be saying goodbye to the grass. No, I'll be honest. I don't realize that I don't realize it's our last episode to write the end of it. So that doesn't really help. Well, that's it for me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. If you stayed to watch all that, I want to thank you a lot. We're back here in the studio, and I actually wanted to go show you something else we were working on. This doesn't get created for another 103 episodes, but this is my color garden. And so the way this works is every episode I pick a person and I add them based on the wool they want. And the color of wool you pick is the person you go under. So these people picked red, orange, purple, and this is gray. So if you'd like to actually get added to this and you stuck around to watch all of this, just leave a comment below in a color of wool and I will pick somebody in my next episode to add them. I want to thank you guys seriously so much for sticking around and watching this compilation. I'll try not to show too much because, I mean, obviously the world's not going to look the same because it's been 100 episodes, so a lot of stuff's going to be different. But still, I don't want to spoil it unless you've clicked on a more recent video. Then if that's the case, then you don't care then. But that's all from me, guys. Thank you, and until next time.